Welcome there, traveller. Please, take a seat, grab a drink, and enjoy the Sunday session.
Now we're fine. We're fine.
Dungeons.
You're fine. What do you, when you say we?
I'm fine.
Where are you saying we as in you controlling the monsters? We like monsters.
It's the royal we.
Yeah, it's the royal way, yeah.
Dungeons.
And in this situation,
and
I mean
depression.
me, because my surname is King.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What? No.
I forget about people's surnames all the time.
It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's a name that actually means a thing. Right. Do you have an intro for this one, Mitch, that you want to do, or Ross?
I was gonna like riff it off the cuff, sort of thing.
Off the top of my dome.
Hold on a second. Let me just. When last we saw our heroes, they were in. I don't. Let me start over.
Well, that's staying in.
Dire Straits.
They were in dire straits, having escaped from the castle Ravenloft, narrowly avoided death by Wolfpack. They met up with the vengeful revenant Korik and his faithful hellhound, and tried to infiltrate back into the village of Barovia. Trying to avoid detection by the various aerial minions of Strahd, they were spotted on their approach to the mansion, and again there was some narrowly avoiding and or not avoiding death.
I'm not dead.
You're not dead.
Only
And
by
then
pure luck.
once they entered and rejoined some of the survivors inside the mansion, they were assaulted by like just a very nice old lady, I feel.
Yeah, she was really nice.
Who did
us a cup
some
of
weird
tea.
eye magic. I don't really know what's going on. We all had some cool dreams that turned into nightmares, and now we're just hiding. We're hiding in the castle. And that's where we are, on the Sunday sessions. Dun 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 dun. What'd you think?
That was. It's descriptive.
It was breathtaking, I know.
I'm out of breath. Yeah. This is my breath is taken.
It is a point.
Take
She
my
was a very
breath
nice old lady. Maybe
away.
if we just sit down with her with like a cup of tea,
Cup of tea,
some scones,
some,
and she'll
some-
just be like, "Oh yeah,
iced Vovos.
I think you guys are really nice." And
If I
I'll-
recall, she did try to hit me with magic missiles.
Wait, no, she shot lightning into the house. That wasn't nice.
No, that wasn't very nice.
no, that wasn't.
And then you put you all down for a nice little nap.
Which is a motherly thing to do.
I have some reservations about that particular take.
Okay. The three of you, plus Irina, plus the refugees that are housed within the mansion, are basically just recently awoken from your magical sleep.
Yep. Wick quickly picked up the diary and stashed it with his kit, securing that.
We made sure that Ulrich was still Ulrich because he had the flaming sword thing. The sun sword, that thing. But we're not sure about the identity of anyone else.
Anybody could be anyone.
Everybody's everyone, man.
In the case of Narlag, sometimes literally.
That is the situation you find yourself. You guys are sort of blinking around the room. The witch has mysteriously sort of just up and gone.
We should still just get everyone into the basement.
Yep. I mean, we check that we still have the magic relics that we've been searching for all this time. Got the book, you've got the pennant, you got the sword. Cool. Let's hide in the basement and figure this out while this siege is going on. Maybe get a nice nap.
I would appreciate that.
Also, I've never actually heard of this witch. Does anyone know anything about her?
Which witch?
The Rib Witch. I rolled a 13 plus whatever.
For what was this?
Whatever that witch is.
For which witch?
Yes, for which witch that is.
He's rolling for which witch?
For which witch?
Yeah.
That witch. The witch which is then.
Yeah, which witch is that witch?
It was Abu Dhabi or something?
Really, you saw her from a distance in a disguise, and then her eye. And then her eye in your brain.
Is this the kind of thing that I could roll a history check for?
Yeah, if anyone's going to
If
know,
anyone's
it's
going to
gonna
know
be him.
local history and folklore, I think Wick might be the one to roll
Yeah.
for this one.
I got an 11.
Okay.
I have a 0 in history.
Yes. History. You didn't pay attention in school.
That shit was boring.
Did you even go to school?
Yeah.
I was in the back of the class drawing those little S things in all my books.
Yep.
That one S.
That one
Yep,
S that
they-
everyone knows instinctually knows how to draw.
Yeah,
draw
people
at
were doing
13
it in Barovia. It's still a thing.
It's the S for Strahd. There you go.
Oh, that was your rebellious phase. You were like, I'm gonna worship Strahd. Meh, meh. You can't tell me what to do, Mom.
I didn't ask to be hatched.
That's not how you're born.
Or was it?
All right. What you do know of like, sort of local legends and so forth is there is a or sort of a matriarch of several covens that exist around the countryside. One of which was orientated around the old mill, which a previous group of travellers have
Burned.
and were burned.
And
You've
burned.
been and
There
seen
was-
that site.
There was burning going on.
You-
Burninations.
You saw the remains of at least one of the witches, and you saw the remains of, I think, 3 of the travellers.
2.
2. Graves for 3. And then one of them not being in their grave anymore.
Yeah. Because,
Avrot, Bedram,
yeah, Averot and Thedrin were there.
And
Augustus.
Augustus.
I thought Augustus got back up.
No.
No?
Well, his bones were still there.
We saw something. He saw something come out of the third grave, though, right? Yeah. Yeah. Go. Yep.
Yeah. So there was.
We were editorializing on the facts.
Okay. So that coven, as far as you understand, is broken. But you don't know if there were any survivors of it. In fact, no one living knows if there were any survivors. Yeah, no one living knows if there are any survivors.
Technicality.
That is technically correct, and I like every bit of it. But you do know of the name of Baba Lasaga. That is the
Baba Lasaga.
is the matriarch that has basically created several covens that she administers over.
This is gold, black and gold brand Baba Yaga.
You've seen some of the naming that's been in this module.
So
this is definitely on theme.
It's a bungalow that gets around on duck legs.
Yeah, what's with that? Is that a thing? Like her hut is walking around. Like is that part of her lore?
Bungalow getting around on duck legs.
No.
Like the stories that Wick has heard about,
Quack.
did it include her hut walking around?
Traditionally, no.
Traditionally, no.
No, you know her, and she's got basically a couple of broods of women under her. But there's been no talk of a particular hut or anything like that.
You're the closest thing we have to a magic user.
Wow. Damning with faint praise.
What kind of magic would be required to make a hut walk around?
Generalized hut magic.
Arcana check. 19.
Some pretty hefty animation magic.
Probably some kind of conjuration magic.
Because that doesn't.
The ferments alone you'd need for the bureaucracy magic.
Because it doesn't
Wrong
seem
setting. You're
like
slipping into futurity real rapidly.
I don't feel like there's a standard spell out there called Walking Hut.
I mean, there's all sorts
There's
of...
Magnificent Mansion, and there's Tiny Hut. Why couldn't there not be
A magnificent
Yeah,
hut.
but they don't walk around.
Why couldn't there be Ambulant Hut?
There's
Yeah,
all,
that's just ridiculous.
Jeez,
There's
Mr.
a-
fucking
there's all
Mr. Paladin.
there's all manner of enchantments and spells that aren't particularly listed. I mean, your sword, for example, is magic, but it didn't particularly come from a spell.
True, fair.
And you know, I've got my rings, and
But
you
it,
know,
like,
yeah.
is it? Yeah. Okay. I'm just like wondering if there's like some sort of magical artifact.
It could be an artifact. It could also just be its own monster. Someone walking around on two legs generally has its own life force.
Because if it's an artifact or something, it's probably going to continue after she's dead, if we can even kill her.
It might not even be destructive. Might just be she's piloting it.
Oh
Maybe?
wait, I know.
No,
I'm like,
Thanks,
It's like,
Ryan.
who knows? Oh wait, I do.
He's got like a book in front of him there.
Well,
I mean, like, do you really blame the horse-sized duck for
glasses.
destroying everything, or do you blame the person who's trying to ride it?
What?
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 I think you blame the horse-sized duck. Clearly, the rider is horse duck mad.
I mean, I'm not really talking about blaming the thing. I'm just saying, if we kill her, will it die?
Maybe.
Look, I'm a little confused as to why that matters at all.
Because it's probably going to attack us at some point.
What?
If it does attack us, her not being there is going to make it a lot easier.
Also,
us being
it's
in an
a-
ambulant house as well would be awesome, because then we could have like ambulant house battles.
This isn't Gravity Falls.
So we're going down into the basement to hide.
Yep.
Stop talking about
And to
ambulance.
check whether or not this house has legs. Good idea.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Thanks,
So-
Ulrich.
So really, what you're not going to the basement. You're more going to like the crotch area of the ambulant house.
I hate you all.
Hold on. If it's got chicken legs, does it lay eggs?
You can hatch your own house and raise it from a little chick. So,
That sounds pretty awesome.
My own baby houseling.
you got to be the first one that sees to
I raised her from when she was just a shack.
Well, you got to be the first one that
Or a
sees when it
tent.
hatches, just so it bonds with you.
I had to hand feed her brick dust.
They grow up so fast.
We renovate her every year.
It used to just be a single room shack, and now now it's a small condo.
Picking out her own furnishings. I think Ryan likes this.
Pretty soon she'll be having granny flats of her own.
Oh boy.
You don't even want to know about the apartment complex down the road.
Back in the day, quite the unit. There's the joke. Okay, you guys are down in the basement. You guys have had a history lesson on the witch covens of Barovia and their, well,
Coveniness.
ample number.
How many are there? Oh, there's no. It's not known.
Numerous.
Definitely known of two
Multiple.
to three.
Mr. Polygamy.
I nearly said Baba Yaga, but Baba La Saga.
Baba Yaga.
She does have a coven of her own.
I'm assuming
That's
they're all
basically as-
helping Strahd.
Sorry?
I'm assuming
Maybe
they're
real
all
cool
helping
quick.
Strahd.
Helping by
Killing blow.
association, because Strahd provides a safe place essentially to do their thing. They can't leave, but he doesn't mess with them because they tend to keep the rest of the population in check.
Sort of a you can do as much evil as
Game
you want.
recognized game.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
they escaped Avrot. Well, like they escaped Avrot's party, like the previous party.
One of them did.
Yeah.
One of them did, but no one knows that. No one, like I said, no one living knows that.
That's true. Okay.
Aside from potentially, two of them died.
Or did they?
Or
Oh no,
did
they actually did.
Or
did
did
He saw the body of one of them.
No, they did.
Or did they?
Or did they?
Oh, we could do this all day.
Or
Could
can
we?
we?
No, I'd definitely get bored.
Yeah. All right. So we've gone downstairs. We've taken everyone downstairs.
Yep.
How solid is the door?
The door down to the basement.
Yeah.
No, it's an interior door, so about as solid as an interior door. Not normally known for its.
Is there a bunch of furniture and stuff in the basement, or like what's in the basement that we can use to?
The basement has a few barrels of like dry stores and so forth. It's a basement for storing foods and longer term supplies. So, yeah, barrels, crates, nothing particularly coffin sized.
wait.
Hold on.
No coffin sized crates. There's nothing that could be described as a coffin.
Would there be like spare linens or something down here? Like
Probably not. There's not really a place you store your linens because it can get a bit.
We've still got the rest of the mansion. We can. Get
Oh,
stuff
you want to make
from
yourself? You're still.
I'm still dying.
You're still dying. You're still just in a linen loincloth.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all still
You're
dying.
not dying. You've got 1 hit point.
For now.
First things first. Everyone's down here, right?
Actually, roll me athletics for going down the stairs. No. You trip, fall, die.
That's a natural one.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. It's 12.
Oh, good.
What
What
would you have done if it was actually a 1?
Realised that I was joking about this bit anyway. I'm not gonna have you die for falling downstairs.
But it's funny.
Such a mundane way of.
funny.
It is pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
I have actually met a guy who just felt like who recently had fell downstairs, and it fucks you up hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like, unless you see it in real life, you're just like, oh no, it's just falling downstairs. Like, what's so bad about it?
you can fall over just like onto the ground, and that can fuck you up. Like,
Don't though.
yeah,
Oh,
don't. Yeah.
It's not a way you sort of, it's not a way you
If
get
you
down
don't
a party.
land, if you don't land very well, you can get fucked up.
One time I skinned my entire arm just from falling on like pavement.
Yeah.
So we're down the stairs.
And
We've literally.
This is really the longest set of stairs you've ever encountered. It takes you 20 minutes to get from the ground floor to the basement.
might
No,
look for some-
someone's literally stopping time, moving us back up the stairs, and then restarting time.
assholes.
Might look. Is it worth getting some furniture from the house to so we can reinforce this door?
Is there anything? We could put barrels
Put
against
barrels
the
of
door.
it in front of it. You got barrels of
Okay.
of
Is it
essentially-
worth reinforcing this door?
Yes, do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reinforce the door.
Yep. And I'm not even going to make you roll or anything. You kind of you find a barrel of salt, and you and one of the other villagers basically lug that up and basically wedge it in front of the doorway, and then get a couple other barrels sort of like wedge in either side of that. Just basically really give a good sort of. I can't say wedge again because it's getting weird.
Double check for any gaps in the
You
wall
force it against
again,
the wall.
because that woman seemed to be able to get through the narrowest gap. So let's just make sure.
I was going to say maybe get some of your holy water and sort of see if you can
Oh yeah,
Bless the door.
bless the door.
sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Bless the door. Bless the door.
It's good. I got it. It's a
Yeah.
Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah. Back when Game of Thrones was actually good.
You made Ryan sad. Look at him. Look how sad. Look how sad you made Ryan just now.
I wanted that show to end well.
Yeah.
It did.
It was never going to end well, but I wanted to end
We all want.
well,
we all want
not horribly.
I
It's
still
right.
haven't seen the
the
last
worst.
2 seasons.
Don't.
You don't have to.
You
Yeah.
really
Oh,
don't.
no, I know
you have
exactly.
watched all the good stuff.
I know exactly what happens.
You can end that show on the bit with Daenerys crossing the narrow sea, like looking into
That's
like
actually the last episode.
that
I saw,
is
yeah.
that's where it ends. That's
Yeah.
where you just end it, and then
And then everything's good.
everything, and then it's just full of promise, and nothing bad happens.
all hope for the future, and everyone's going to have a good time.
And now everyone's going to attach to the Witcher TV series.
It's a decent show.
It is actually pretty good.
There's a lot they don't explain. Like, just so much vagueness as to how the magic works and all this other stuff.
Well,
But it's a good show.
you can't explain the rules to magic in a show.
Yeah, you can.
Sure as fuck can.
Yeah.
Many shows have done it.
If it's
Which
a
ones?
good system.
Avatar does it, doesn't it?
Oh, just as a side.
Avatar didn't have.
Did anyone
rules.
ever read Wheel of Time?
No.
Oh, then don't
I
worry.
don't have most of my life to read a book.
Fair enough. Oh, don't worry then.
I'm a really slow reader. Okay, so you've got some sort of spell for purifying this door, or are you just going to douse it with some holy water? Or what's What's your grand plan here?
Well, I mean, I don't have any spell slots, so...
I mean,
Well-
you let me have a short rest and I can make a barrier that'll stop. Oh, sorry. You let me have a rest and I can actually make a barrier no demon can enter.
I mean, same. Maybe.
I think just some in the current situation, just some
Yeah.
holy water there, good enough for now. And we
Holy
can figure
water-
things out.
Do we have anything that's flammable?
The door.
Like any oil or anything? Maybe mix some holy water with oil.
Do you still have some of the leftover oil from your armor thing?
No, that all got shed as he went. But there is a couple of like ampules of like oil, like cooking oils and stuff like that are on.
Can
the
you
shelf.
actually mix holy water and other liquids? and
It'd be
still
like mixing
effective?
oil and water.
Holy water and oil. Yeah, I'm sure those things would be great.
No, but is the holy water still effective at that point?
You're the paladin.
Well, that okay, I'm
Hey,
going to roll.
If
to
you're a
see-
homeopathic paladin, you can dilute that shit down as much as you want, and it's still going to be 100% effective.
I got to 19 on my
That's how
religion roll
Blackwater
to know
works.
how well.
Can
that
he
will
make
work.
holy fire?
Basically, I want to be able to throw like a torch or something at this door, and it goes up in flames if someone's.
You want it
If
to
we
be
need it
holy
to,
oil.
if we need it to, but also be protective with the holy
When
water.
you're explaining this, I say I grab the oil and I say, don't light the one way out of this trapped room that we're in on fire. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna take this oil and all the other oil and make it so you can't light the only way out of this trapped room on fire.
Did I not mention this was the Triangle Shirtwaist mansion?
What?
This was the fire in like the Triangle Shirtwaist factory where all the women died because they blocked off all the fire escapes.
Okay, it's not a
yeah,
it's not a pop culture reference.
I
so we're-
I thought people would get that one.
No,
I mean, now
I
that
mean,
you've
we
said
might
it, I
be
do
the wrong
remember
crowd
it,
for that kind
but
of thing.
like I didn't realize.
It's a
the
joke
name
I had
of
to
the
explain, and now I'm sad.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay,
brand. Okay, well anyway, I'm going to put
holy water. You holy water the fuck out of this because I think you had some left anyway.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are in a barricaded door, barricaded in basement.
Okay. Well, if one of you guys is the witch,
Ulrich, just do your
Just-
sensing thing.
kill us in our sleep.
I think he's done. I think he's out of them, aren't you?
No, because I never used any. I mean,
No,
other
you
than the
used-
one
you
from
used
last
one.
session. I used one from last. It's all I've got left.
But
It's like you go.
You get one. You get a minimum of one and equal to your charisma modifier.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally the only thing I've got left because I never use it.
Because it's not for punching things.
Yeah, pretty much.
He wants to do a bunch of punching things, honestly.
Is everyone here?
Yep, we got everyone downstairs. We're all in the same room.
I'm here.
There's no one like hiding behind a barrel or anything. Cool. I do divine sense.
We're all sitting in a circle with our holding hands.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Okay. You do your divine sense.
And you're the demon. Wait.
Actually, that would be pretty cool. Could I be the demon? Oh.
In this situation, you do the divine sense, nothing happens because you're not a
And then
paladin
Ulrich
anymore.
was a zombie.
No, you do your divine sense, and you do get a sense of fiend, but you cannot locate it. It's not something you can see, but you know it's in the room.
I tell you guys that.
I mean, is it Narlag? Because he seems like a bit of a demon sometimes. Is it you who is a bit of a demon at this particular moment?
Does holy water hurt demons?
Yes.
Would you just be saying that to cover for the fact that it doesn't and that you're actually a demon?
I mean,
I can assure you, I
If
most
we
certainly
put-
am not a demon.
we've still got a small amount of holy water. If we just go and like put a drop on everybody,
You got like a holy artifact and stuff like that as well, right? Couldn't you like the power of Mars compels you on everybody? Is that a thing that you can do with your?
can I roll and see if that's a thing I could do? I have
You can
no-
sure as hell hit them with a holy symbol
Yeah, I
and see
mean,
what happens.
it's a flaming sword that
You've also got your shield, which has the Mars symbol on it, and
would.
You got like a. Don't you have you have a symbol to?
I got 15 on my religion roll to know whether or not I can do
You
something
know
to
that there are definitely some people within your chapter that are capable of doing exorcisms and so forth, but that has definitely not been part of your training.
Yeah, and they would probably
have the demon.
They would also probably have spell slots. I'm trying to find something without a spell slot. I'm trying to find to be able to do
What
something.
can you do for me in a non-spell
We're
slot?
trying to the thing this.
That's why I'm saying. If we put
I
out-
understood that reference.
Yeah. I've never seen the thing, but I know it's something they do in it.
Yeah. So let's the thing this out.
I actually don't. I haven't seen that. So
It's real good.
yeah.
Okay.
I know. It's just one of
You know what I'm talking about, though, yeah?
vaguely.
Yeah, like they use like a piece of hot metal to test the blood of each individual person.
Well, okay, I'm gonna pull out my rapier. I've got a silvered rapier here. I mean, I don't know if like silver is gonna do a bad thing to like.
Oh, just like lay your lay.
I sort of like get my arm like that. I'm not gonna fuck up my hand with it, but I like cut like the back part of my arm with the rapier. So that was okay. I just maybe took a point of damage from like. See,
Please no.
What?
I still think,
No, point of damage.
Ingesting-
If you do enough just to do a point of damage,
I still think ingesting a drop of holy water. Like I just put some holy water on my tongue.
Yeah, get a giant barrel of water and then just like
well, Wick's like holding his arm. I was like, then why don't I do this?
But I got points for this one, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
there would be like a barrel of water in here, yeah?
But he doesn't have spell slots to make it holy.
Doesn't matter. We've got holy water. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure we've at least
but
got one
Are
barrel.
we
I'm just
actually
talking
going to
about
do the homeopathy version of
I'm
holy
literally talking about a drop. Like it'll use fuck all if there's like what 15 people here or something.
water? Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah. So like just a drop on everyone's tongue.
All right, let's do that. All right, we do that.
Okay.
I've already done myself.
Yep.
Just go around. Put a drop
Nala
on
takes a drop.
Okay, hold on a second.
Instantly dies.
As we're proposing these different measures,
Yeah, maybe keep.
what
an
are
eye on-
what are the reactions from the randos in the room?
Okay.
What does Irina say? What does that goddamn Irina say? I was gonna.
she's
I
a nice-
pulled that back at the last
Yeah,
minute.
she's a nice
Should we
woman.
roll inside?
Yeah, I think you should be rolling insight. Basically, you can't be doing insight on the entire crowd. You guys need to pick a selection.
I'm gonna look at Irina.
Yep.
Got 20.
I'm gonna look at like one half of the crowd, I guess.
And then you're also looking at the other half of the crowd.
Yeah. You'll have to
I also
specifically tell me which half because all these humans look the same.
I'm gonna look at the half on the left.
Okay.
That's this side.
Okay. Cool.
I like that we're operating.
Ooh, natural 20.
All right.
So we all got 20s.
You got a dirty or a natural 20?
Dirty 20.
I
Although
got a
I
dirty
think my
20 too.
insight's -1, but
But you got a natural 20.
I still got a natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on top of this shit.
Okay, so
Oh no,
Oh.
+3.
+3. There you
Nice.
go. Ulrich, you're looking at your half of the crowd and just watching these faces sort of looking across at each other. They're sort of seeing what you're doing and they're sort of beginning to eye off the other, like each of the individual members that you're looking at, eyeing off the rest of the group. Everyone's very nervous that the person sitting next to them is not who they seem. And they are suspicious and scared. This is a tense group.
Are there any babies in the room?
No, not what you would actually call like a baby. There's a couple of kids, but not.
Right, we have to make sure we
infants or
test the
toddlers.
children as well.
Could there be any like rats or anything in the room?
Hold on. Let Ryan finish explaining what's
Okay,
going
Look,
on.
if there's any rats, Dave's gonna find them. He's hungry.
Yes. Actually, on that, Dave
Actually,
has started like scooting off after a rat.
He's having fun.
He's basically like you see him
also
like
a point-
every now and then you see those little light beams like.
I can't really do that to Dave, can I? Because he's probably not going to react very well to holy
He's-
water.
Okay,
He's an abomination.
He's already a monster.
Yeah.
in the game rules, no, he won't react badly to it because it's an abomination and they don't react badly to it. Story-wise, yes, he would react badly to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's already a monster, so he's probably going to kill us in our sleep anyway, and I think we've already come to terms with that. So that's probably.
I haven't come to terms with that. If we're going through this, I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. I've not come to terms with.
And then goes to sleep.
What Nalak says before he takes the holy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
God damn it!
Studying your group as well, you get a similar sort of vibe as what Ulrich gets. Is basically you see a bunch of people sort of looking around. They're basically just watching everyone else. They are just like the side eye. Some people are like pulling their children in close to them. But yeah, there is a very tense nature in this room.
All right.
Irina, her eyes are downcast, and she has her arms sort of crossed across like this, and just head like bowed right down, sort of like chin tucked right into her chest.
I mean, that's not suspicious at all.
I can
Kill it.
I can actually activate my shield and give people the water as well. So I'm going to activate my shield, just in case. Just
You just like, there's just this giant dragonborn paladin man with his shield spinning around him as he's coming towards you with a vial.
Drink.
I never pictured it as like spinning, more just kind of sitting there.
We've been
I guess,
talking
I don't know.
about this non-stop.
Yeah.
It's like the
It'll only last for a minute.
No, I thought it lasted like 10
it
minutes.
lasts for a minute at a time, but it's a bonus action to activate. So that's 10 rounds.
It's never come up in combat because it lasts for the length of combat.
Yeah.
All right. So he's going around administering holy water. You're planning to go take a little snooze at this point.
He's finding somewhere quiet in the corner.
Yeah, you basically just find a couple of sacks of like flour and stuff like that, like pat them down so they're slightly soft, and basically pass out so rapidly you're asleep before you headed see the ad hoc pillow.
While Ulrich is doing his administrations, I'm sort of like taking a step back into like the corner, and I am like fixed on Irina to see what she's doing.
I'll do my half first, and then if he's going to sleep, I'll do his half.
Yep.
And then I guess I'll do Irina last.
Okay. Every one of the villagers, like in turn, take their dose and sort of look you in the eyes, basically looking for confirmation that you're satisfied.
I'm trying to not appear as if I'm concentrating on Irina, so do you need a roll for that?
Yeah, that'll be.
Is that like a deception?
Yeah, this will be a deception.
Or a performance?
Deception
or
or
a
performance?
stealth?
It's a deception.
Or a sleight of hand?
Let's go with
Are
deception.
you trying to hide and not be seen? Then it's stealth. Are you trying to seem like you're not looking at
I'll
something?
do a deception.
Then it's deception.
Yeah.
Oh, 9.
9.
9.
Like, she has her head down the whole time. Like, she is just like curled, not fully curled up in like a fetal position, but she is like hunched over herself, like basically in a state of sort of like self-protection.
What I've sort of got, I've got my rapier still like at the ready sort of thing to draw. Got that like the sort of the cloak tossed back so I can easily pull the rapier. And I've also sort of gone to my kit and I've gotten one of the vials of the colloidal silver.
Do you still have that chest
Colloidal.
that had all
Colloidal.
the needles and stuff in it?
Thanks, Jerry Lewis.
Just give her that.
I do have the knockout. Okay, I've got those sort of in one of my.
Just be careful.
Yeah, maybe I'll be just like very quietly off to the side. I'll be getting one of those like knockout needles that I got from the chest, and I'll just like coat the tip of that in silver, just because I don't know.
this is hedging all bets. This is wearing every holy symbol of every god you can find.
So I've got one of those like sleeping poison needles, sort of like hidden in my hand. I'm at the ready.
You start to approach Irina, and you sort of step up in front of her, and she sort of stares. She's got like a head like pressed into her chest, and then you see that she shifts her head slightly and sees your steel-clad feet, sort of maybe a pace or two in front of her, and then she just sort of slowly looks up towards you, and as she raises her head up to look you in the eye, you can just see her eyes are just red. Like, and there is just the streaks of tears pouring down her cheeks. And she's like, I had to.
Your
To-
eyeballs appear to be leaking. What's wrong?
I had to save everyone. Everyone was
Cool.
Everyone was
Good on you.
going to
now.
die. But I can't take that.
What? It,
Oh shit.
what?
I mean, it tastes
What
like
did-
mint.
what-
If you don't like the flavor, I could get something like I could put a little.
Okay. What did you
tea
do?
in there.
Well, what did you do?
Wait, how red are we talking? Are we like
She's been sobbing,
okay,
crying. Like
so,
this is
so
like
not like I'm glowing red because I'm so demonic.
no. This is someone that has been, crying heavily into her own chest.
Tell us what you did.
And we won't be angry.
Oh, we're probably going to be very angry, but we need to know. So just out with it.
And she just starts sobbing again. It's like I made a deal.
With
What sort of deal?
That fucking
I'd rather not say.
All right. Well, we're going to have to insist strongly that you do say.
Roll intimidation.
can I give a bonus on this?
If you yes, actually that just basically means he gets advantage. You are standing over her,
Yeah.
vial in hand.
I imagine you've probably got better intimidation.
Well,
He does.
I
but
just
you're
rolled-
leading this.
I just rolled 17 and I've got a +3, so I got to 20.
I mean, I was just about to go. I've got a yeah. Whatever. I'll just roll it. 16. 16.
Was that with advantage or?
That's with advantage.
Oh, damn.
My friend the dragon over here is ill-tempered at best. I feel like you should tell us what is going on. I mean, we're current. Okay, look, cards on the table right now. You're locked in the basement with angry dragon man, a monster, and I'm not very nice either. So just out with it.
Look, if I tell you, then the deal is broken, and they'll be back.
They're probably going to be back anyway.
That wasn't the deal.
I trust her.
What? I just gotta.
No, I don't.
All right, let's get the shape of this. Like, what can't you reveal? Is there anything you can tell us? Like, who did you make this deal with? What is it in regards to? What was the time frame of said deal? Is there anything you can share with us?
Could
Because
we-
right now, I'm like not in a trusting mood.
I mean, we could guess and you could just say yes or no. That's not really telling us.
Or like we don't even say anything. We just sort of like you just sort of touch your nose or something, or like you cough twice to say yes.
Roll inside.
Bad. A 6 after that dumb like smattering of questions.
Can I roll?
This is a case of everyone gets to have a go.
I got to 14.
She just sort
Dave
of like
rolls inside.
Dave is chasing a rat.
Yes.
Has he caught it yet?
But he can roll inside.
He's having more fun with this.
He can
with
roll
this game.
inside on the rat.
The rat's a rat. He's not even going to roll that one.
The rat has so many dark secrets.
The rat is secretly
the things
a
he
really
just
good jazz
seen.
The
musician.
orgies it's had in the flower. Oh my god.
Actually descended from a rat king.
Yeah.
He's a rat prince.
He's a rat prince. He's a right rat prince.
He's a rat prince.
All right.
He's part of a rat pack.
Boo.
And the curtain closes.
But
Sorry. It's
you
just
see
the
her
sun
just
was
like
starting to-
as you guys are sort of like studying over it, she just sort of like just curls a little bit further up into a sort of fetal position, but she's still like hunches over a little bit further but still maintaining eye contact with you every now and then, like just darting her eyes off to Wick. That's what you get with a 14, was it? Yeah.
Fucking tell us! I'm done with this bullshit.
I can't. I cannot.
I mean, you definitely can.
If I tell you, people die. Everyone here dies. Everyone in the town dies. Everyone in Valaki dies.
Okay, is this to do with Strahd?
No.
What about the Abu Dhabi woman? Whatever her name is. Yeah.
Just the sheer mention of that name, you don't even have to roll an insight. Her eyes widen.
Okay, so it's the witch. She cursed you?
Yes and no.
I mean, we'll fucking kill a witch. Don't worry about that.
I mean, after a nap.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem as I see it right now. My associates and I are gonna go kill that witch. That's just what's gonna happen. We sort of need to rest up now and regain our composure before doing that. And I don't trust you presently not to shiv me in the neck with this whole I can't tell you a thing. So we're at a little bit of an impasse. And we're going to kill a witch.
At that, she just like holds her hands up like this, was like, bind me then.
What?
Nothing.
I mean,
No.
we're all assuming you have some sort of manacles in your backpack.
Oh, he absolutely does. Just he's asleep, so you're going to have to get it yourself.
All right.
Which means diving into Nalak's bag.
Gross. All right. Well, we'll bind her. I think like what's left of the holy water, so like drip out a circle around where we've got her tied up.
Can we trust...
Gagged.
Yeah, I was about to say we need to gag her as well, because
Yep.
we can't trust the chi. You can't just start casting spells for
Of course.
some apparent reason.
And I think Wick will take first watch, and this is long rest territory. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, Wick can take. Can we? Does it still count as a long rest if one of us is keeping watch the whole time?
Yeah, I think
alright.
if we take
Yep.
turns in the watch,
Yeah, you
that's
take-
usually...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll take first watch, and I feel like Narlag has transformed himself into some sort of cocoon.
He has turned himself into a bug man, so here's a chrysalis.
And it's super gross.
But super comfy.
Ooh, yeah. The lumbar support on a cocoon.
What
You have no
time-
idea.
What time of day is it currently?
Does he even have a lumbar?
It's actually you're heading into evening, so
Okay.
this is actually a good time to actually sleep, I guess.
Yeah, because if we can... We're always better off attacking anyone of our enemies in the daytime.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, we're pretty well secured down here right now. As good as we're gonna get. We need that long rest. Take it now, and we'll deal with Little Miss not telling us what's going on after we've had the rest.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's her
Ulrich?
new name now, Little Miss not telling us what's going on.
Ulrich, you lay yourself down for sleep, and are essentially lulled into sleep by the sounds of every now and then just the sound of screaming from outside.
Oh
Outside
yeah,
the
that's
mansion.
right. The town's under siege.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
you-
about to say, we need to, get this done as soon as possible to go and help them.
and yeah,
Well, screaming means they're still alive.
some of them. Probably not the one that's screaming.
Yeah.
Because the screaming stops.
Well, I mean, it stops, but while they're screaming, they're still alive.
That's a hell of a hope to hang on to.
You're the worst paladin.
Jesus helps those who
Yeah,
help
but he's all
themselves.
we've got.
Wick, how do
Hello.
you set yourself up for your watch?
I think I've got myself like at the foot of the stairs sort of thing. And I've got a little bench set out in front of me. I've got my crossbow sitting there. It's loaded, ready to go. I've got my rapier, and I'm just I've got eye lines on the whole sort of room. And I'm just waiting. And maybe I'm like, I've got out like a little whetstone. I'm sharpening up the rapier. Got a dagger there that I'm like while he's doing it, he's like redoing his kit sort of thing and maintaining his gear, like taking account of his supplies. That's what Wick does. He's a professional.
Yeah, he's just laying out all his various instruments and got stuck in the middle of you playing, and
They're ready and all. Yeah, I like that. Like he's keeping one of the poison needles like hidden in his gloved hand sort of thing.
okay. Roll me perception on Irina, because I'm assuming you are keeping a pretty close eye on her.
Yep. Perception. Hey, that's a good one. 14.
14. You see her, and she's not sleeping. She is like hands bound. I think you just bound her hands, and you gagged her as well, didn't you? She's just sort of leaning forwards, and you just hear the sound of just like sobbing, and just like sniffling. And every now and then she raises her two hands up and like tries to wipe her eyes, and then pulls them back down again. And hands are still tied. Like you with that perception, the ropes appear to still be there. You can see like little bits of her the cheeks are just like glistening with the welled up
They
tears.
appear to still be there.
You rolled a 14. I've got to put certain parameters on what he sees and what he doesn't. And as soon as she brings her hands back down again, she sort of just hunches over, sort of the hands crossed, as crossed as well as they can be, with her hands bound just in front of her waist, and she just hunches over slightly.
Did you check her for knives or anything before you?
I didn't say that I did, but like we tied her up and secured her in a.
I think you would have grabbed her weapons.
Yeah.
She still does have her like breastplate on because she's got.
Nice. I have a skill at just like breaking the mood, right? I can't not. It's like that thing. Like I have the ability to break any mood, but it means that I need to break every mood.
Yeah, it's a power you must use.
Yeah.
How long was your shift going to be?
A third of the night.
I mean,
Really?
I figured Narlag probably needed like a full night's rest, so like didn't want to break his chrysalis. So I was thinking like half the night.
So you're looking at about a 4 hour shift, 4 or 5 hour shift.
Sure.
Towards the end of it, and you hear the occasional scream and the sound of battle and the sound of attacks and doors being knocked down outside.
And the occasional crunching from Dave.
Oh yeah, Dave's got the rat,
Nice.
and he has just been very slowly chewing that thing down.
Like a cat playing with a bird.
And he had it tail first, because you could hear the crunching, you could still hear the squeaking.
I fucking hate that thing. Hey, you know what bards don't have? Beholders.
Bards and beholders.
It's not the thing.
What, you don't
You
like
just said,
B&B?
you just said two things.
B&B.
You just said two things that start with B. I can do that too. Bananas and
Pajamas. Damn it. Towards the end of her shift, the end of your shift, not her shift, you see Irina just start sort of like shifting uncomfortably in her place, and she starts like trying to reach around and like undo the leather strapping that holds the front to the back of the breastplate. She's like trying to undo the belt as best she can that straps the two together.
is it time to wake up Ulrich now?
It will be soon. Yeah, like this is towards the end of the shift. You're looking at about the time where you're thinking about it's time you really probably should get some rest, and Ulrich probably has rested up enough to be able to be combat ready.
I'll go and wake up Ulrich. Just I imagine there's like a changeover period.
Changing of the guard.
Changing of the guard. Like the Dragon Man. I think it's your turn. And I'll go over to Irina and sort of check her bonds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm imagining it's probably a little bit rough, sort of like... I'll look at those straps and just be like, I noticed.
She's like, she holds her hands back out again for you to inspect the ropes, and she's like, could you undo like both sides? This is quite uncomfortable.
Wouldn't that be more of a...
Yeah. She's like pointing at the.
Take the gag off.
And like, can you undo like this is not made for sitting in for long periods, and it's getting quite uncomfortable.
I'm waiting for Ulrich. Like, I'm figuring this is a 2-person thing rather than me do this by myself.
Get shivved while you fucking bend in there, like right in the neck, and then the series wrap on Wick.
Like, all right, lie down on the ground, cross your ankles.
So yeah, Ulrich gets up. I'm just going to describe the things you can do while you scoff down that pizza.
Yeah, I'll get up and go and help.
So yeah, between you and Ulrich, essentially you're guiding Ulrich as to what you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
As you sort of, and you tell me what you.
Yeah, like I'll all right. Like, I suppose less armor is good. I don't know.
On her?
Yeah.
She doesn't need armor.
All right.
So you undo the straps. There's like 3 or 4 like leather straps down the side that hold that side on, and they sort of pop open. The whole thing sort of, as soon as the tension
Pops open and it's a trap.
Gas.
It's a booby trap.
Needles.
Hey!
Oh my god. But no, like, as soon as the last belt is released, the things those who like clip open, like sort of push open, like they were a little bit under pressure. What?
They pop open like they've been under pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scoring.
And then
And then she's like, "Can you get the other side?" Like, once this is,
yeah, all right. I'll do that too.
and so that's what you'll use. Like, undo each of those straps, and then it sort of like just gives away, and the 2 pieces just sort of slightly flick apart slightly, and she's. You're going to need to undo this so I can get my arms out of this.
I mean, no.
I mean, I can always hold her hand. Like,
What do you think?
if I grapple her while you take off her armor,
This is getting sort of. I don't like how this scene is playing out,
I mean,
Ryan.
I have.
You just have the option of not continuing that.
You do realize my guy has no interest in humans.
So I guarantee you, I will not do anything.
I mean, I'll do it if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
So, in what way do you sort of restrain her?
Wait. So it's
So
got
basically,
to go.
like the sides of it have been unstrapped, so it's sort of sitting like a sandwich board. Like that's
So
sort
it
of.
has to go up.
It
Above
basically has to go over. So, but her arms. Yeah, because her arms are bound. She needs to have them undone.
I'll take off the things. Tell her to put her arms up in the air,
And she's like, she does that, and then you sort of what?
and then just
Then you sort of grab them, and she doesn't resist. So
Yeah,
you
and
grab,
then I'll
grab them by the wrist, and then between the two of you, sort of like, once it gets up to a certain point, you sort of grab her arms, and you lift the breastplate off her.
Yeah.
It is just like the 2 pieces of metal, front and back, that are just.
Phrasing.
I look at it. I look at it to see if it is magically trapped.
Investigation.
24.
There doesn't seem to be any traps or anything with it.
Okay.
just means she's really good at it.
I'll put that down to the side, out of reach of her.
This woman is the devil.
I'm very mistrusting. Ryan, you're right on my last nerve right now.
Yeah, I just put the restraints back on her, and
And she
Tell her to lay down.
offers her hands back up again. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, please.
you're better off going to sleep. Just go to sleep.
And as soon as the restraints are put back on, she sort of tucks her hands against her waist again, and just sort of like leans back forwards again.
I'll gather up my belongings back into my kit, and I will. Don't fucking fall asleep while you're on guard.
Yep. I'll also double check I have all of my weapons and things.
This is
in
serious?
case she like lifted me or something.
Roll investigation on your weapons.
Not great.
Narlak has
You check over.
They are all plastic.
Yep, sword hilt still in your in the against your right side.
It's still a sunblade.
It appears to be. Your shield is sort of slung over your back because that's the way it goes when you're not using. Your spear is also sort of slipped on the inside of that. And then I think you've got like a dagger on your belt as well, just general use knife. I don't think you've got a statted out dagger, but you got a knife on you because fucking everyone carries a knife. It's D&D. Everyone's got a fucking knife.
Yeah.
It's just accoutrement for
Yeah.
armor at a certain point.
Yeah.
Narlag has been slowly shapeshifting into a jolly fat man with a white bushy beard and white hair.
I thought you were going to say Madam Butterfly.
I take that.
Santa Claus.
It is your shift for the watch. How do you set up? Because Wick, where do you set up?
I think he finds like a little corner and sort of like tucks himself up. I would imagine
Yeah.
him finding like between two beams sort of thing, and he's like wedged himself up with his knees up sort of thing.
I also assume I can pray and still keep an eye on things. Like I won't be at 100%, but like generally just because I've got to pray and stuff to get all my spell slots back. I assume
If you're doing that, it will take you longer, but for the sake of
yeah. But I've got half the
capacity of time.
night. Like,
yeah, normally it would only take you
After
you do your morning
Like an
prayers.
hour or
It'll take you like
something,
half an hour to an hour.
yeah.
Because you're breaking it up with actually keeping watch. It's going to take most of your watch to be able to get
That's
that done.
Fine, gives me something to do. I just pray really slowly.
Yeah, it's like you go through like one set. It was basically one
Dear Mars,
little hymn, and then you
I
go.
have been a very good boy.
I would
sounds
like
about right.
a bicycle.
And
That's how
Mars bless Grandma
That-
and Grandpa.
You know you're joking, but that's exactly how I imagine him. That's why we joked that.
Every now and then you sort of look up and give me a perception check on Irina, because everyone else is asleep.
Ooh, 19, and I think I've got a -1, so 18.
He's gonna shiv him in his sleep. It's that thing waiting for like the lowest possible guard and attacks.
18.
Okay, you got a negative on perception.
Yeah.
You dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Oh boy, you are the dumbest. If you roll low, you really don't know the difference between your ass and your elbow.
I've rolled a 1. I've rolled a 1 before on perception, and it was a 0. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
At one point, you see Irina, and she still has not gone to sleep, and she sort of shifts uncomfortably in this sitting position, and like pulls this cotton tunic that she was wearing under the breastplate, sort of pulls that away from her waist a little bit, and just with her hands, just like adjusts the whole clothing, she's uncomfortable.
Now I know you have the instinct to just murder her.
Do it. Do it.
Wick wasn't gonna do that.
Here's the
No.
blessing of having one person active at a time.
no.
Don't fight that impulse, is what I'm saying.
I'm not.
This is one time you have authority.
I'm not going to murder her.
Yes.
I did not murder her.
Yes.
I don't care. I think that's the one you got
When
for
does
you.
she do this?
Let's go for
Like how?
Fugitive?
No, it was iRobot.
How
Okay, I was
far-
going for the fugitive.
It's a good one.
How far through the night is it now?
You're probably
The fugitive is, I didn't kill my wife.
Yeah. That's,
Damn it, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Close. I thought that's the one you were going for, though.
It was the one-armed man.
You're probably about halfway through your shift, your watch. So you're about to.
Does he look like he can be woken up?
I guess.
he certainly looks like
He
something.
doesn't look like a person anymore.
He looks like a
barely-
slug left in the sun.
He's been sleeping for a solid 6 hours.
I mean, he usually looks like that, doesn't he?
Like,
Well-
he's been sleeping for a solid 6 hours.
No, like a
slug
slug
in the
left in the sun.
You need some new clothes.
I go up to him and say, look, I just need you to keep an eye on me for the next 5 minutes, and you can go back to sleep afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. I go up to
So
Arena.
you've got like 1.25 of your spell slots back.
One
Rounding down.
That's still one spell
There's still
slot.
one spell
No,
slot.
but you actually have to...
I only have 2 spell slots anyway.
I know, that's what I go.
Do you get yours? Because mages actually have to, like...
I have to do a short rest and I get my spell slots.
Oh, well, that means okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you've got your spell slots.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you don't have you've maybe got like half and maybe a little bit more of your health back at this point.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on her?
Yes.
Alright, I try that.
I mean, you don't need to. I just need you to sit here for 2 minutes and then you can go back to sleep.
Fine.
I go up to her, and I mean, I know humans, so I know that they have like their modesty and everything. I'm not gonna like take off her shirt or anything, but I lift up her shirt, kind of like to see if I can. I'm gonna roll healing, like a healing roll to see, because she seems to be uncomfortable. I'm gonna roll a medicine check.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20 plus 3.
Okay, on your approach, and you're sort of looking her over, you can see that the
Graham?
it's the coronavirus.
I
I can't roleplay coronavirus.
I'm probably
It is
fine.
way too fresh.
I'm actually probably fine on that.
Oh yeah, you're
because-
immune to diseases.
Yeah, I'm immune to diseases, and it would be human to dragonborn, which would be much more unlikely than human to human.
D&D doesn't work like that.
It's not. It's
and
never
real
been
dark
how
life
any
doesn't
of
work like
this
D&D.
works. Turns out dragons are way more vulnerable. Whatever. Moving on.
You can see like the on your approach that like the fabric of her tunic is like pulled quite tight across her midriff. Like it doesn't look like
As in she looks pregnant.
well, it looks like her waist is sort of distended.
Can u be pregante?
It didn't work in English, so you're trying dumb made-up language?
I love that video so much. How to know I'm pregnant? It's like a guy reading out all these really bad like Yahoo Answers questions about pregnancy, and all the times people have misspelled pregnant and asked really dumb things like,
How is baby formed?
Girlfriend hadn't had periods since she got pregnant.
like, how to know if I am mother of pregnant?
If a woman has starch masks.
What? Okay.
How
I'm so glad.
I love the pregante. So good. That video's gonna have to go on show notes because it is so fun.
Have you seen it?
It's real good.
I'll put it in the chat because it's fucking hilarious.
Pregante. All right. Yeah, that's what you essentially you see. Like it's well, this is going to be a bit of a tell for Ryan, but I'm going to pull my shirt a little bit tight across my gut. That's how we're looking because Ryan looks like a pregnant man.
Damn. Flexing already.
I mean, I would have seen various. I mean,
You
healer,
understand the
yeah.
concept of mammals and pregnancy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
You're not that. You have existed in the
Yeah.
world for at least 20-something years. You understand that things. You know, your species doesn't. You hatch from a clutch of eggs, but
Born
I understand
from
the
an egg on a
principle of.
mountaintop.
I understand the principle of people giving birth. And
yeah,
things,
yeah, that is.
And she looks slightly pregnant,
Yeah.
basically.
She's showing. What?
I'm asleep. Blissfully.
Blissfully, ignorantly asleep.
Not a part of this current bullshit.
Like, has he said that she's pregante?
Muy pregante.
Mucho pagante.
I go to
Pregnant?
you and say, have you ever heard of a witch impregnating someone to keep an eye on them? Or like,
I mean, that sounds like something they do. Check. do a check. That's a 12 plus whatever. What am I checking?
Arcana?
Yeah.
16 for Arcana then.
Sure, Arcana.
Like, that's a thing.
knowledge witches?
Like, it's not so...
I'm trying to work out what skill you roll for this one. That is
It's definitely not nature.
no.
It could be
Did a witch impregnate her at a black mass with a three-eyed goat?
It could be an
I-
acrobatics roll.
Does she have a third nipple to suckle the spawn of Satan?
Would it be...
There's a
either-
lot of things going on here.
I'm
Is that holding
assuming-
her left hand up like this?
I'm assuming it would be either Arcana or Religion. Which,
yeah, I think Arcana's probably closer.
alright, so that's a plus
I would
4.
say he'd roll religion. I think you roll Arcana
I got
because
proficiency in both.
he would roll religion on this because this whole Malleus Maleficarum sort of
Got to 16.
So we both rolled 16s.
okay. Yes, witches have been known to have surrogates
I go up
for
to
new
her
members of the coven.
and say, look, just nod or shake your head. Have you had sex? Like, are you pregnant? Do you know if you're pregnant?
She looks at you sort of wide-eyed and clutching around her waist, like protectively now at this point.
That's not a nod or a shake of head. Can you nod or shake your head?
She's like, nope. And she's like holding a bump.
Like pulls Ulrich to the side. So, did she end up taking any of the holy water?
I don't remember actually. Did she?
She didn't.
She said she couldn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was a whole thing. She betrayed us somehow, but she won't tell us how. So we bound her. I have a feeling she betrayed us in a way that involves the witch impregnating her.
All right.
She said she made a deal. I'm not there.
Yeah.
She said she made a deal to save everybody and wouldn't tell us what the deal was. Turns out part of that deal is being pregnant in a weird way, which may be worse than the other thing.
Yeah.
How many holy water potions would we have?
Oh, none left because he poured the rest of it around her.
Okay.
She's trapped. You can sort of like there's a trail around her. You could like go.
Because I have a proper spell that will trap her. That
Ooh,
does
look at
require-
you.
That does require holy water as a reagent.
Now we can take the baby out, and the wound will cauterize instantly.
Oh boy.
I'm not that proficient with scalpels.
Neither is he.
I mean, I'm pretty proficient with this particular implement.
Wicker's having no part of this. He is so glad he's asleep right now. And it's like, no, this is the deal. This is the protection for the
She's still
for
got
the
the gag on.
Would this be a genuine... okay.
I'm just
would,
discussing this in front of her.
Would this be a genuinely living creature?
Mostly
or
to
would
see-
It be
I'm-
magically generating?
I am actually saying most of this just to see how she's reacting. Like, I'm probably not.
At this
gonna-
point, she's like, she's like resolute and looking you in the eyes, like,
Okay, so the thing that you did to betray us
Burn the witch!
involved you getting
yell out in
pregnant.
your sleep.
I was having a nightmare.
It was.
I
hope-
to the question.
What was word the question for me?
Would this be an organic being that is currently growing and living inside her, or would it be like magically just growing in her?
It's probably buggy.
Is this because of a spell, or is it something that was like put in her?
Okay. It's definitely gestating faster than human gestation. How it got in there, it was a deal.
It's probably magic shenaniganery.
Good chance.
Okay. So I've got my 2 spell slots back, yeah?
Yeah.
First thing,
I've already hit long rest on the thing, so if I haven't gotten anything, you'll have to tell me.
first things first, I'm casting Conjure Elemental into my ring, because when I go back to sleep, I'm going to get some spell slots back.
Yep.
Second thing, I'm casting Dispel Magic on it, just in case it actually does anything.
Alright, it doesn't.
Nah, bugger. Well, I'm out of ideas. Going back to bed.
Cool, you go.
No, this is...
Go on,
This
go
is
back to bed.
This is genuinely concerning.
I feel like you guys need to deal with this right now.
Well, that's what we're discussing.
No, like you have a little bit more experience as far as it goes with. I believe that your species at least breeds in a mammalian sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah, like changelings breed with other changelings.
Yeah. So the concept of
I've
of
seen
an
it. It was
actual.
on Deep Space Nine. It was cool.
Oh, so you saw that episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sort of like, they turn into pillars, and then they sort of, the two pillars merge, and then get all wavy.
And then a third one forms.
And then the third one forms. Have you ever seen
I mean,
Deep Space
I
Nine?
don't know
That's how sex works, isn't it?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, it's fairly similar. It's probably
two
that's-
wobbly pillars just like start wobbling,
Yeah.
and then they stop wobbling, and then later on a third one appears.
I'll show you some videos. Oh, later.
Later. Okay. This is Sunday sessions after dark.
Sunday sessions. Click.
Sunday sessions dark. SSD.
You obviously understand, the normal gestation periods for humans or mammals of this sort of size is usually around the 40-week mark. This is so far looking more like she's looking like she's probably about, maybe a third of the way in. In the space of 5 hours.
Yeah, that seems pretty unnatural to me. Like, when I was that...
Definitely sleep some more, and we'll figure this out after a good night's rest.
It definitely took a few months for my egg to get that big.
Do we know if...
Is this when we find out that you're actually female and you laid an egg?
No, for my... when I was...
know the egg you
What a twist!
Do we know if...
Actually, that would be a good twist.
like, there's that whole folklore thing about, like, put salt around a demon or, like, around a threshold, and it doesn't stops the
Well,
demon thing from moving.
fills
through.
mouth with
I feel
onions.
like if anyone's going to know about abominations,
You would be Narlag?
it would be you.
Dr. Abomination.
Can I roll
So-
to see if, like, pouring salt around
If you were going to impregnate a woman
would do anything?
with an abomination, how would you get rid of it if it
What am
went
I rolling?
badly?
Just wisdom.
Just wisdom.
Yep.
14.
14. Okay. Folklore-wise, yeah. Putting salt as either on a threshold or even a protective circle around someone, that is something that's been used.
Just imagining threshold, putting salt around the threshold.
Yeah, it's a bad joke. Let's keep going. Narlag goes and pours salt around and, like, watches for another 10 minutes.
Yep.
You guys ever watch Supernatural?
That's the
I mean, okay.
You want to hear my way to break Supernatural? Is their ultimate weapon that they should be carrying around with them all the time is hula hoops filled with salt.
And they should be really good hula hoop dancers.
yeah.
Just drop them.
Come at me, bro. Yeah, just wear a hoop skirt the whole time.
Yeah.
You'll look slightly ridiculous, but you're fucking safe from demons for your entire life. You'll live a long and successful life until a Lugaroo kills you.
What do you mean slightly?
Well, one species of thing doesn't get to you, but every other cryptid that they go chasing after doesn't give two fucks about salt.
Alright, so, like, watching for the next 10 minutes to has salt appear to have done anything.
Well, she hasn't got out of it. She hasn't left the space.
She also can't move.
There's that.
But, like, is the stomach still expanding?
I wouldn't say visibly, but it's still there.
Hey, magic guy, do you have any magic spells that can compel somebody to tell you what you want them to tell you?
Why she is not anymore.
Like a zone of truth.
Wait,
Well, that doesn't compel them to tell you anything.
would
though.
Narlag
It just
know of any
compels them to tell the
contraceptive
truth.
herbs?
Oh my god.
The morning after pill. You want to treat this demon infestation with a morning after pill.
Actually,
Yes.
that sounds like a good
Like,
idea.
Narlag is an alchemist.
That actually sounds like a very good idea.
Does it? Or does it sound like a really bad idea? I'm torn!
Well, we've established that Narlag is pro-choice.
Of course he is.
Yeah. There are several.
All right.
I can't remember them. I know I've definitely heard of the ones, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Would he be able to conjure, like, basically a pill-shaped form of that with prestidigitation? It's non-magical. It fits in the palm of his hand, and it lasts for 1 hour.
Huh. Yeah.
He does that, and gives it to Irina.
Take this.
Pulls it down, shoves it in the face. Not actually, but, you know.
As you pull it down, it's like, I can't.
Do you want me to knock you out?
This is for the sake... This is one for everyone.
Even the people who we've been hearing dying outside.
What's attacking the town out there is nothing compared to what can if this is taken out.
You mean the witch?
Yeah.
Did she just break the deal?
Probably.
Narlag is so charming, he doesn't even have to roll to break deals.
But she's like, because you guys have managed to work out enough so far, this is not giving away information. Like, you know this. This is not her breaking the deal because this is something you know. You have managed to surmise, so the deal is still intact.
Yep. Sorry.
I can actually also choose my spells for the day as well. So, Zone of Truth can be one of them, but it might not be that useful because you just don't have...
no point in having Zone of Truth.
If this is removed, the deal is broken. The villagers are under attack by covens, plural.
The villagers in here or the villagers outside?
Villagers, plural.
Do you know how much longer this has?
And she looks down and is like, days at most?
We can work around that.
What about minimum?
Morning? I don't know. This is...
I mean, you
a
said,
time frame was not given. This is...
Because if it's going to be a couple of days, then we can just go out and kill all the witches and then get rid of it. If it's going to be soon, then we probably need to do something about that soon.
well, I mean, like, if we've got enough time, Narlag can just do that circle of binding and it won't be able to escape. So, if we have, say, 8 hours, that's enough time. From what it's grown, does Narlag see that it's, 8 hours roughly, at least?
8 hours, yeah. At the shortest point, you have 8 hours.
Alright.
Because this has been like roughly 4 or 5 hours to get to essentially first trimester,
I don't know what that means.
first third.
Okay.
First third is,
Right.
try is 3.
Yeah, but... I don't speak ancient Greek.
I mean, you sort of do.
A lot of what you say is, yeah.
It's all Greek to me.
Macarena. Yeah, alright. The salt around the thing. Just go back to sleep.
Okay, as you roll the salt around.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of paladin are you that you are suffering this witch spawn to live?
I'm not. I'm actually just going through my spells at the moment to try and figure out what I can do to get rid
Now,
of it.
like as you head off to sleep, you hear her sort of.
I mean, you have a
grunt
sword,
in
you have
pain.
axes, you have fire.
Sort of grunt in pain, and you can see like a movement across her her bump of just like something's like pushing from the inside,
Yeah, okay. We need
and
to
it
do
looks like
something
it's
about this
got a
now.
pointed edge.
I'm going to gag her again. I'm also going to wake you up.
Yeah, no, she's getting force-fed that contraceptive now. She's gonna die otherwise.
Potentially.
Yeah. Ulrich, help me.
Yeah, I'm going to wake him up. How long's he had to sleep?
I've had a long rest. It's already happened.
Yeah, I've already pressed the button.
I pressed the button.
Okay. You all three are awake. Tell me what you're doing.
I bring you up to speed. Say, look,
I
the
get-
witch seems to have impregnated her. We're going to try and do something about it right now.
That sound like a
I'm not
a
100%
plan with
sure
you?
what, but
Are we going to set her on fire? I feel like that is a prudent
And you
course of
see
action.
her like she is visibly pregnant.
We're gonna try a contraceptive first.
I mean, don't we want her to survive? I mean, you guys know better, but like, surely we should probably try and save her. She seems like an important person.
I mean, like that's what a contraceptive is.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, like, instead of like setting her on fire, maybe we try and get rid of the thing inside of her first, and then if that doesn't work, then we kill her.
Okay, so I've lived in Barovia for periods of time. Historically, what do Barovians do to young women that have phantom demon pregnancies?
It's not a happy story.
I know.
I mean, they're probably treated really nicely, and are all like sent to a nice place.
They're sent to the sanatorium where
Yeah.
they're lobotomized and then horribly treated for the rest of their days.
Yeah, but
No, that would be
No.
the nice option.
yeah, that would actually be
Well,
the nice
this
option.
this is usually like much quicker and much more burny.
Toasty.
They're also
Basically, we're going to
most of the times they're not people of noble birth.
Firstly, we're going to try and get rid of the thing inside of her. If that doesn't work, we're going to get rid of both of them.
Okay. I'm going to take my rapier and do like the cut across her arm just to see what happens.
She bleeds.
I mean, she's...
And there doesn't seem to be anything
Alright.
anything different about it. Like she bleeds red. It bleeds at a normal rate. There is no sort of sizzle because of the silver. It looks very, very similar to what happened to your arm. She even took. I'll just note this down. 1 point of damage.
Interesting.
Ulrich, could you please knock her out?
Okay.
Just like put her in a chokehold or something. Just-
Well, you can do non-lethal damage to someone.
yeah. I mean, like, she's...
Hold on a second.
She's goddamn second. Let's try and be respectful a little bit here. 'Cause I've set up a really shitty situation. I'm having some real regrets.
hold on just a second. Okay, listen. You're concerned about the town villagers being killed by covens. What the fuck is this thing? What the fuck is it? What is it going to do?
Yeah, I feel
Who
like...
is it going to eat? Is it going to eat us? These are all questions I have.
It's
You're asking this to Irina.
Yes.
So this is
It's probably gonna be a witch.
it. Yeah, it is. It is a hag spawn. It is a replacement for a member of a coven.
That's not good.
Yeah, I feel like your deal is already broken because, you know, they're just going to kill everybody anyway.
Up till now, there have been some deaths, but minor in the face of total extermination.
And
Hold on. How did you come to this arrangement with the witches?
yeah, when did you get time to do this?
She came to me in the dream while we were all asleep.
All right. Look, we may be approaching this from the wrong direction, gentlemen. Maybe this is an opportunity. What I suggest is that we negotiate with the witches.
Because we have a hostage.
Yes. What if we get the witches on our side against Strahd?
We've got, by the looks of it, a few hours to do this.
Yeah, and then we have the hag spawn.
that will immediately probably try and kill us.
Well, I think we could deal with just one hag spawn.
Yeah, but then
Well, you were talking before about going and murdering every single other
no,
witch.
but I'm just saying, it will immediately try and kill us, and then we will have to kill it. Therefore, our leverage will be gone.
All right, but look, the witches are around right now. I feel like what we should do at this particular moment is try and take advantage of this situation. I don't really want to kill Irina. I don't think anybody here does. I feel like we're going to be moving towards conflict here, whereas we're presented with an opportunity to strike an accord with our somewhat more morally, impaired magical neighbors.
Those witches grind children's bones into pies.
I also think they're going to betray us instantly. So if we betray them before they betray us, it's probably a better option.
Look.
If we use her as a hostage,
I'm not
to get
going to
in...
work with child eaters.
No. I'm saying if we use her as leverage to get a meeting with them, we then go to that meeting and kill them.
Sorry.
Well, look, I'm just saying, like,
It gets them all
if
in
we
the
could,
room.
if we could convince them to help us kill Strahd, then that's might be. Look, that's what we're doing here, right? We're trying to organize like a popular uprising. They live here. They are not directly under Strahd's control, so maybe they
They're
can be
under-
made to see the commonality of our cause, sort of thing.
Would you try and ally yourselves with the werewolves?
I mean, the werewolves are under Strahd's direct control.
there's
That's
nothing
like,
wrong with
would
us.
you try and ally yourself with the enemy army? I mean, they have a command structure and
There's
such.
nothing wrong with werewolves. They're perfectly good creatures. Everyone loves them.
I mean, if we could sit down and have a conversation with one, maybe. What I'm getting at is the reason that this sprung to mind is that one of these witches has entered into like a reasoned bargaining arrangement with Irina here. That might be our
Are we
ins.
talking about bargaining with the witches or bargaining with the Baba Yaga or whatever her name is?
Giving birth
Babala
to
Saga.
this thing could very well kill Irina.
Okay.
Welcome to the world of childbirth in medieval times. There it was.
Welcome to the world of childbirth with monsters.
I mean, to be fair, childbirth at even now is
Yeah,
still not
it's
great.
still not.
I just feel like it might be a more interesting approach to the solution
I'm
rather than just.
liking this one
I
because
Kill the baby.
See here, I've got a whole
Kill the
encounter
baby.
written up here that I'm happy to scrap if you guys go into.
I do like your idea. I just don't see how it plays out in the timing.
I feel that that Ulrich needs to be as far away from that meeting as possible.
I feel like we need to kill the baby.
I mean, you kind of want people nearby, but
Well, here's another possible approach. I mean, it's gonna be a baby. Like, maybe it'll be innocent. Maybe it will have the opportunity to be raised in a better world rather than corrupted by the evil forces of Strahd.
I can tell you right
this
now,
harsh
it is
land.
evil.
We can tell you right now, it's going to be born a demon.
Well,
It's evil.
all right, but
I know for a fact my God-given ability has told me this,
Your God-given ability tells you it's a fiend.
which is
Doesn't-
evil.
If I wasn't carting David around, would you
Normally.
not kill him on sight?
I mean, you're literally arguing for my point right now. We're not killing David on sight, even though he is a monster.
That's because I've got him on a close leash. If I was letting him loose, he'd go and terrorize children every day.
That doesn't make me feel better.
It shouldn't make you feel any better. No offense to you, David.
That really just like raises another discussion we're going to have later.
Yeah, that's just one we can afford to wait till later.
Irina
Steve.
sort of pipes up as like, because I'm assuming the gag's still off at this point.
At this point,
Yeah, we're
I
having
don't-
we're having
yeah,
an open.
At this point, whatever.
I don't know how she was intending to collect her child when it was ready.
Because it's probably going to either claw its way out of you. Either way, you're going to die. And at that point, if
We should be
you're-
clear. He's not that familiar with how
Excuse you.
non-reptilians.
He rolled a 20 on a medicine check.
He's got it that much. I I was familiar with the risks.
You're really familiar with how hagspawns work.
I'm familiar with the concept of childbirth. I have been in the room with a few.
Children?
For a few.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying, I feel like it would be interesting if we sit down and have a parlay situation with Baba Yaga.
Childbirth in Barovia would actually be a fairly easy affair because most of them don't have souls, and most of them would probably just come out and just be like completely silent and like it wouldn't.
Yeah, because that's the part that was more than
it'd be quite easy and like.
I thought the whole thing was that it recycled souls.
Yeah, but there's
Maybe
more
half of
people.
them don't even have souls.
Not half, but basically the excess over and above the original population. Because
Now,
new
how do
soul.
they keep in excess? This is a very dangerous place.
Having lots of kids.
It's not a lot on TV.
Yeah.
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 It's you see when a mummy Barovian and a daddy Barovian are just really fucking bored.
It gets cold.
They go for a long, very warm, squishy hug.
And then, yeah, they
Two
they start,
wobbly pillars.
Yeah, they turn into two pillars, and then they wave at each other. Yeah,
This has been education
and then they lay an
and
egg.
not.
Barovian education via Deep Space Nine.
Okay,
Do you know the name of the?
That's what's on TV all the time.
yeah, actually, that's a good point. What's the name of the witch?
What's the name of the TV station?
The witch that's inside you? Like, I assume it's a particular one.
She didn't give a name, but I imagine if you wanted to parlay with any of the witches, you'd have to parlay with her. With Madame Lasaga.
Let's fucking do it.
Do you want me there?
Can you be cool for 5 seconds?
Can you be
How-
cool for 5 seconds?
How about 10? Because it might be a bit of a meeting.
I mean, that's 2 rounds.
1 3/4.
I mean, we may need to negotiate with the witches. We may I want to be clear. I don't really want to barter away like any percentage of children's bones for any bread-like arrangements. But
need-
maybe
we need
maybe
those-
there can be a livestock trading
You know what might
situation
be
We do
really-
need those bones for little Jimmy.
for little Jimmy. Yeah, he
Now
was
that
pretty clear on his bone needs.
now that we have done everything except take out Strahd, it might be useful to get in every single ally and person we know and help us with this.
This is what I'm saying.
So-
I also suspect there may be like a thing we need to do before hitting at Strahd, but like
Well,
we haven't actually sat down and appraised the diary yet.
Do
so
we have?
I feel like there's shit in the diary that is going to be what we need to do before all that.
Do we have a way to contact Mordenkainen?
You guys directly? No. You're in with Wyu.
Wasn't he watching us though? Couldn't
Yeah,
he
he
like
was,
wave at
like-
the sky and be like, "Hey, dickhead"?
Yeah, I feel like he was watching us quite closely. Like, surely by this point he's realised what's going on.
Could be he's watching why. Just making sure he's not going to die.
I mean, he had like a
Not gonna
whole.
die.
Didn't he have like a whole thing that could watch like multiple things at once?
It had a scrying pool, and he was scrying in particular things, and most of the time he was scrying in on Wyu. And he had to be actively there. He wasn't like the governor in the governor in Walking Dead with those multiple TVs.
I thought you were talking about the Baron from.
The governor in The Walking Dead watched like zombie heads. What the fuck are you talking about?
There was zombie heads, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Someone else. No, the architect in in
Oh, the
Matrix.
architect in the Matrix.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. That all the different TVs in behind. That's the reference I was going for.
Yes.
Similar, like it was,
I
it was a
mean-
name of a role.
I mean, okay.
But
I'm gonna put like get a piece of paper and like put it on the front of my armor saying Mordenkainen, we need to talk to you, and then that way, like whenever he looks at us at some point, we don't actually have to be saying it. We just have a piece of paper that says it, like, and he can see it.
You're a simple man.
I mean, I
And then it works.
I'm
listen,
assuming
sandwich
you
boards
have
are a
cloak.
thing for advertising, so I guess he's
assuming-
onto something.
I'm assuming you have a cloak.
Yeah, more than likely.
All right, on one side, I get with like a piece of charcoal or chalk or something, and just write Mordenkainen, we need to talk.
How do you also propose to negotiate a meeting time with said witches?
I mean,
Ooh.
how absurd
Two
does
people
it...
we should definitely have nearby are the big flaming dog and his rider.
He
who
went
I-
away. He was drawing away the thing.
Yeah, but we can probably get them back soon.
Yeah, he's trying to defend the town.
Yeah. We could potentially, like, I'm just thinking, like, they were circling around outside this building. I mean, I'm not an expert in which communication, P2W communication. I feel like if we just go outside the house and yell for Baba, what was her name?
Oi,
Baba.
witches!
Yeah,
Witches!
Get out here!
If we go
talk.
outside, we're going to get attacked.
Baba La Saga.
And we start talking at the people who are attacking us, who are probably witch spawn or something.
Baba Lysergic!
But I say we get what's her name? I'm just blanking on the girls. Irina. We have Irina. We go there ready for a situation. Like, you have another short rest.
Basically, I'll be her.
Hold on to
jailer.
her.
Yeah, hold on to
We-
her
we
with
take-
a flaming sword, like basically nearby.
Yeah, we
going,
got a
"Look,
threat. We got a threat of the spawn, and we're like, look, this is like, we don't want to do this. And I say we take her. We go outside the house, and we just call for Parley. That might be dumb. I don't know if that's dumb, but it seems like it could work.
Is there any way of you getting out there and finding our relative allies that are in the nearby area and getting them on close by?
We're on a ticking clock right now.
I know. That's why I'm asking if you can do it quickly.
Can Narlag shapeshift himself to look like Irina with a prego belly?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I feel like we
do a bait and switch.
What's that going to get us, though?
I mean, at least then, we can still have her downstairs and not in danger.
Yeah, but if we're not there, it just means they'll probably know about it, and then they'll come and get her, and then the whole thing will have gone down south before we even know about it.
I mean, we are trying. I like your energy. I like where your head's at. We are trying to like form like a lasting agreement here, and I feel like trickery is going to like we're not trying to like if the plan was get them into a parlay situation and fucking kill them, I'm all for that. But if we're trying to like come up with a parlay to like recruit them as allies in the fight against Strahd, we sort of need to go into it like
we weren't trying to kill. Okay, cool.
Oh, I most certainly was.
Okay. Well, I mean, like it could go either way.
I mean, these are genuine.
all of a sudden, you got your spell slots back, and you're like, "Fucking bring it on!"
Yes.
I also,
Yes, I'm a warlock. I don't have anything without my spell slots.
I do really like this idea. I'm just 99% certain that they will not betray Strahd, but I
mean,
give
these
you
are
several-
genuinely evil creatures.
I will give you several rounds before I attack.
It means a lot that you'd say that.
That's a genuine offer.
Yeah.
We don't know. Could be fine. Could be fine.
Could be.
Look, I'm trying to hold this coalition together
To be
with my
fair,
bare hands.
As you guys are like discussing, you hear like Irina like buckle over like a jolt of pain. It's like, "Ugh."
Okay, to be fair, right now it's our only plan. So let's go with it.
I mean, okay, here's what I see. Our plans right now are something like this or fucking kill her.
Okay, so our plans of negotiate are negotiate in good faith, negotiate with trap,
Yeah.
try and kill with contraceptive, or try and kill Irina.
Let's face it, the last one you can do.
Oh, the last
Like,
one we can definitely do.
that's the easiest one.
That is the easiest.
I can knock that out in an afternoon.
You
We
can
can
knock that down out in like 6 seconds.
Yeah, I can knock the... Yeah.
I mean, like
It's
the
trying to be funny.
contraceptive and kill are probably the two easiest ones we can do right now.
Yes, but if life was easy, then...
Exactly.
It would just
Okay.
be easy.
Then D&D would be a very short game.
Yes.
So, show of hands, do we want to try and talk to them first? Or do we want to deal with Irina right here and right now?
I want to try to talk to them. That's why I proposed
Irina
it.
raises her hand on the try and talk to them.
I said I'd give you several rounds.
All right. Do we want to try and talk to them with the option of a trap? Or do we want to try and talk to them in good faith?
I feel
Little
like
from column A, a little from column B.
I feel like being prepared for it going sideways is obviously what we're going to need to do. I mean, we'll go
And
there.
Irina Pups is like, I will assume they will do the same.
Yeah, go loaded for bears, but at the same time, I could see. I mean, these witches have lived in these woods for generations. I feel like they probably would benefit from a non-Strahd situation as much as anybody. So maybe
Arena,
Okay,
where's your brother?
I believe he's out fighting.
Okay.
all right.
Him
I think-
and the bard Rictavio are out.
really need someone to go and find them, but we don't have the time.
Well, here's what I was going to say as well. We need to sit down, short rest before heading out because we need to recharge our warlock batteries. So we're going to at least sit here for an hour.
you haven't cast anything.
Yeah, he did.
I cast 2 spells.
Oh,
So
I
he's,
thought
he's,
that- oh, okay.
First, I was trying
he woke up, shot his wad real fucking fast, and needs to go have another
Spell
nap.
slots! Bam, bam! I'm done.
That's the warlock life. Oh, if you need me again for an Eldritch Blast, fucking wake me up.
Give me a Red Bull.
Oh,
So,
ladies.
yeah, so he's got now a refractory period.
Warlock refractory period is what we're calling short rests now.
I really think Narlag should at some point make some kind of mana potion just to make it a little bit easier.
No, you don't get that.
Aw.
You don't get a Roderick.
You
Turns out Roderick is baller.
The best. He's the best.
He's fucking baller as fuck.
You want to open up a portal and steal Roderick is what you want. He's my best friend.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It really helps that everybody else in the party are dicks who he hates, so Roderick is his best friend.
I'm going
I
to.
do actually want my own little stick with a Shrek head.
I'm going to figure out what spells are best for taking on witches, and
Irina goes, where should we try and arrange a meeting?
I mean, as soon as
My
possible.
suggestion would be, I said where,
Oh.
because soon
Well,
is
my-
going to already...
Pretty much outside the door.
We can go into into the fields, in the open fields to the south of the village.
Mhm.
That would probably, at least then, there's no sort of major hidden areas. That would be my suggestion.
Well, we
Ev-
probably don't
everyone
want to
out
do
in the
it
open?
in town. We probably
No.
want to do it on the edge because
Well, we're already on the edge.
our allies
You're
are
on-
more than likely outside of town and kind of attacking in rather than.
I would also put it like this. This is a buck wild plan, and I feel the more people that we involve in it, the more likely we are to have somebody violently refuse to go along with it.
Oh, definitely. But also, when things do go bad, and they will,
I don't like that. I don't
Okay.
like your attitude.
Under the assumption,
I'm going to say it. I don't like your attitude.
having people that could potentially be nearby is a good option.
under the assumption that things can possibly go wrong, I can get Dave to try and find everyone. Because he has basically, walkie-talkie status between Narlag and himself.
Actually, can you just send him out now?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that now. And
I actually
Send him outside, arrows. That's the end of Dave.
Can't he just go?
the birds are having just a whole lot of eyeballs.
well, birds do tend to like eating eyeballs.
So that was the joke I was making.
Can
So you're going to attack simultaneously like birds, bats, and the villagers because no one knows who they are.
Can you put him in camo or something? Like,
We've already done that bit.
didn't we fluff him up with some sheep's wool, make him look like a cloud?
We also had him hiding through the town, looking like lanterns and everything like that as he went along. But
And we hung a coat from him.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a good one.
I'm assuming we have enough. I'm assuming we have enough stuff in the house to disguise him a little bit.
I mean, realistically, if he just goes straight up, high enough that he's out of sight from anything on ground, then you just send him around. Hopefully,
The thing that is
Still a bit
attacking the
hard.
town right now is birds.
yeah, but hopefully
people are
they're-
kind of looking up for a change.
But chances are they're not looking. The birds aren't looking for something
He
around.
successfully snuck through the town at relatively ground level. He can do it again.
Okay,
Cool.
All right.
cool.
he can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's in the plan.
All right.
Even if they can be
Short
nearby,
rest.
that's
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do this
Done.
dumb thing.
All right.
Before we think about it too much and convince ourselves not to do it.
Yes.
Irina sort of shuffles around within this salt ring as well, and just sort of tries to curl up and lie down.
I got 13 on a medicine check. I'll just kind of fake. I'll get one of the villagers, or one of the
Is
you
anyone
look-
here a midwife?
Yeah, say, is there anyone a midwife, or you look matronly enough? Come and help.
You look like you've had enough.
Yeah. Like, you look like
You're
you've had-
also pregnant. No, I'm not. Oh, sorry.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
and just get some villagers to help, and just generally.
I almost made that mistake one time. You look pregnant. Mistake.
Yeah, I never.
Look,
Almost.
here's a tip from Ryan.
Never say that.
Never.
Yeah.
They could be visibly in the motions of giving birth. And
They
you
can
do
be
not
lying down on a bed in a maternity ward. Never say that.
never ask, "Are you pregnant?" They can have the baby halfway out of them, and you should not ask that question.
I did not.
You wait till they bring it up, because if they want to, they will.
Yeah, like I've gathered
Ryan's
enough,
tips.
I've gathered enough societal information to go. Unless that person is like buying something very specifically baby related.
Even then, even then, they could be buying it for a friend.
No. That's why you go. Oh,
They can just be a fat woman buying it for a
Also,
friend.
you just do what I do and don't care.
yeah. I mean,
Hey,
like
it's none of your business.
for me, it was just like, oh, okay, you've got like that weird baby harness thing. It was buying it for someone. Oh, no, it's me. Oh, okay, congratulations. That's it. That's the only way you can do it.
Anyway,
Congratulations on your friend having a baby.
That's what I meant. But one of the other women in the sort of assist Irina in sort of lying down on her side in a comfortable way that would sort of just hold her belly in a sort of not in a way that's going to sort of really enhance the stretch marks. I don't know.
Starch mask.
I say go and get hot water and towels. That's what people do.
Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming we've got,
For the pregnancy part, not the birth part, because
we've
again, Ulrich has a fundamental misunderstanding on how childbirth happens.
I mean, you help the egg kind of like crack open and
you lay hot towels over the belly for when the egg cracks open.
yeah.
I mean, like, Nala can
then
start
it's-
a small fire if he's got kindling.
What?
Start a small
Oh.
fire and then you can, like, boil a pot of water.
I mean, I have a flaming sword.
Yeah, it's
myself
not
a
fire,
whitewash.
though.
I
It's
saw that.
sunlight.
I feel I need to be a little bit more drunk for this parlay we're doing right now.
That's
actually-
just
with
like
the
your
sun sword,
opinion,
if you put
man.
it against
Just
metal,
like your
would it heat up that
opinion,
metal?
No, it's just a light source. It's not a. It is also not heated. Okay.
All right,
Irina-
you're a person with charisma.
Am I?
Okay? Show me your stats.
Yes, you are.
Okay, you've got a plus. What is that?
I have proficiency in
You've
every...
got a +8 on.
It's actually +9 now.
Okay, well you've got persuasion. So let's try and figure this out and try
Plus
and
9
negotiate.
on persuasion.
I've got +9 on deception, intimidation, and persuasion.
So don't. Let's try and do this in a smart D&D way, where our person with the charisma is the look. I'm as scared as you guys. Where our person with the I know it's hard. I know it's hard.
Yeah, my
Gotta get-
persuasion's only +3, so
I've got 0. I've got a 0. He's got the energy. He just doesn't have the words to be like, "Hey, witches, get on our team. I believe in you." This is Nalag's time to shine and just roll like whatever and get a +9 in his persuasion.
All right.
So you're going to sleep now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We go back to sleep.
Irina sort of finally gets comfortable and actually drifts off herself as well, because she hasn't slept at all this night or any of the day before. So she is fucking tired, and she is also
well, get ready.
fairly pregnant at this
Get
point.
ready. It's
She's
not
also
going to
technically
change.
broken her deal, so I guess there's some sort of magical release on that.
She also ain't going to get any sleep for at least the next probably 10 years.
Because babies.
Yeah.
And Wick,
The pain we will never know.
He's been all confident to hey, we're gonna negotiate with witches. It's gonna be fine. And now he's sitting off in the corner going, "What have I done?"
it would have been so much easier just to fucking stab everyone and leave. Everyone just fucking
just go-
knife that fucking dragon guy in the side of the neck and just fucking leg it.
I could just go live with the birds over in the east. Why am I doing this?
Your stealth is high enough that you could probably hide from us in the room.
It's just literally like a single palm front in front of his face and no one sees him. Magic.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So for the next, few hours at this point, everyone rests. No one is on watch, right? Because you're essentially
I'll help.
you
You
are setting your
I'm being
spell list.
mid-dragon.
Does Narlag need to actually be asleep for the remainder of his rest, or can he just sort of sit around doing?
Oh, this is essentially short rest
Yeah,
now,
as
so you
long
can
as
sort of just sit there, relax, and just sort of
even long rest,
yeah.
isn't it? Like as long as you're not actively like doing things, it's still
You-
technically a rest.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
it's tricky. It's a grey area.
Like,
Yeah.
like, it includes doing all of the rituals that you need to do all that
It's
stuff.
that thing where it's like if you're not trying to game the system and fuck around and do things in your long rest, then it counts as a long rest.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to be like, oh, we could just sort of get away with this and do this and all, no, then it's not a long rest. It's a long rest.
It's
if you-
it's a short rest and some things you did.
Yeah.
It's a short rest you do 8 times.
He's the only one who actually needs the rest.
Well, it is a short rest at this point. So
Yeah.
you guys basically need an hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm helping. What's her name? I'm the mid dragon for like what she's trying to do. It's not midwife.
No, that's right.
I thought we had a
mid paladin.
I thought
Sorry,
we had
mid paladin.
Okay, we had a villager that was doing that.
Yeah.
You could actually get some sleep.
I mean, I've already.
Well,
I've
just
already
basically you can sort out your spells for that.
Yeah.
hey,
actually, yeah,
hey,
I'll
it's
sort it.
fine. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Instead of bickering over D&D nonsense.
But I want to bicker.
Let's just do the fucking thing.
Fine.
I'm gonna figure out my spell.
Okay. You are doing that. The rest of you rest or do what you need to do.
Freak out.
Freak out. Just fucking genuine stress dreams.
Chain smoking up in the corner. Just this was a bad idea. I don't even smoke.
Why am I doing this? Been there.
Do witches don't take more damage from radiant? Do they?
Not that I'm aware of. They are demons, though. Well, like fiends.
Fiends.
Yes, be very clear on that one because demons and devils are very different things,
That's true.
but they are both fiends.
Yes.
Okay.
If you call one the wrong one, they get very annoyed.
Those of you who are conscious, and even if you're just doing the short resty bits, are startled by Irina shooting up rapidly,
Oh no.
and just like sitting up bolt upright, like holding her.
Where's the needle?
This is basically like she went from very asleep to upright and awake almost instantly, and she's like holding her bump, and it's like 1 hour in the fields.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Was that you talking, or was that?
That's what they
They
told
obviously
me.
went to her in her dreams.
It looks like they got our message then.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get to the fields?
It's to the south of town. Like literally, you leave the southern border of the town. You start in the fields.
We're already
Yeah.
at the southern border of the town.
You basically
So
walk
it's like-
outside
it's
and walk a little bit.
Literally like
It's
a
where we
minute away
came in
from us.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just going deeper into them. Like
Okay. Narlag is going to go upstairs and try and find some clothes.
essentially, village is here. You're going down into the fields around here,
Okay,
and then you have to assume that they're based somewhere in those woods.
right.
That is an assumption.
They probably take more damage against fire, wouldn't they?
Not likely.
Or maybe not more damage.
They're fiends, so.
Oh, okay.
Should we just roll to see what we know about, like, hags?
You can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Natural 20.
And that's you're rolling Arcana. You can roll Religion.
12.
Yeah, basically what your assumptions are. Yeah, they are sort of fiend based. So you start going through the things like they. Your weapons will need to be either magical or silvered. Some fiends are immune to some elements, but
Like dragons.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Most evil things tend to be resistant to fire.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're gonna be tricky buggers.
Yeah.
They're clever. They use their thinky.
Especially
they use their thinky parts.
Especially the really uber witch that we're going to be going against. Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna call her Uber Wench.
Yeah.
Gross.
That's a different thing. I am das Ubervench. Dave flies off and tries to find Rictavio and what's his face?
Yep. I bet essentially Dave is on scouting, and he is just scouting around, basically seeing how the village is going, and you can see through through Dave's vision, you can see through the tops of the roofs of some of the houses. Like parts of the roofs have been removed. You can see there are greasy bloodstains across some of the streets.
It's a grisly battlefield.
It's a battlefield, yeah. It's a straight up battlefield. A couple of houses. Damn it. A couple of the houses are on fire. You can see some villages where the battle is no longer happening. Some villages have basically set up bucket chains to try and put out houses.
It's from the look on your face. I feel like you're not on board with the spirit of going into this negotiation not fighting.
No, actually, the question I was going to ask, I was waiting for him to finish. The question I was going to say was...
What do you think about fire?
No, Zone of Truth, because if everyone knows it's on...
That's interesting.
And it has... And
you
it
are going...
affects
Okay,
us.
this is a really good point, because you are going into
A
a
negotiation.
negotiation. A Zone of Truth would be a good call.
Yeah, and if it
Sorry,
affects...
this is
Yeah.
DM Ryan.
Yeah,
should
no,
be
I'm just
shutting
saying,
up.
like, it affects everybody.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm going to prepare it. That was what I was going to say.
Okay, cool. Now next, what about Bladestorm?
What about this new spell I've got called Kill Witch?
Oh, I wish.
No, I'm gonna say. I don't know the spell I've got called Charm Monster.
Suffer not a witch to live.
It's less of a spell, more of just a creed.
You can charm monster.
I do actually have Charm Monster.
Charm the fuck out of the monster. I'm really hoping you can do that in a more, like, holistic approach rather than in an objective spell, but whatever.
I'm unlikely to need my horse, am I? I mean, it takes 10 minutes to cast, I'm just asking.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, it's up to you if you want your horse or not.
Go with your gut.
Not like yeah.
And just realize that your gut has shit for brains.
What has Narlag found in upstairs, clothing wise?
Oh, you got a couple of fine.
Having a montage.
You're going around and
Wick's there with you, and he's all like, honey. And then he's like, yes.
We settle on something that's like rather swashbuckling.
Okay, you're in the mansion. You're in the mansion of. You're in the mansion of the burgomaster for this village. There are some fine clothes going on here. You two can decide on what combination of clothing you have managed to nail down for Narlag, because his usual look of a pinstripe suit and purple vest are definitely not part of this whole ensemble.
I think like a big, like, wide-collared Willy Wonka coat in red.
No.
Oh, what's
A very burgermeistery look.
what's the word from my brother and me show? You look like if
A rotisserie shithead.
you
You look like Jamiroquai's dad.
you look like if herpes was a person.
Would they have clothing like Dandelion in The Witcher?
Yes,
Yes.
I had that, which is like a more large purple top hat.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the puffy hat with a feather was straight up.
Yeah, okay, so like basically dressing like Dandelion from The Witcher.
Yeah,
Yep.
I dig it.
yeah.
Pantaloons.
Gives himself like a nice like waxed moustache.
But still a hobgoblin.
You could shift human.
That's true.
If we've got an hour...
Actually, you might need to shift because hobgoblins are generally taller. And a bit less.
I'm going to make some holy water.
Holy water.
Is that just Kofi? I think I've done this joke before. Is that Kofi? You need to go pee. I'm pretty sure I've just done that joke before.
I mean, if you want to be that way, sure.
All right. The hour passes. You have done your. You have done your say yes to the dress montage. You've made your holy water.
It goes like pirate outfit, chef's outfit,
leather daddy
Sailor
outfit,
suit.
Sailor
With-
suit, leather daddy.
pantless sailor suit.
An Indian.
Sailor Moon outfit.
Also pantless.
Yeah, that's Sailor Moon. And then finally, the
Spaceman.
Naked spaceman.
I mean, that's just Flash Gordon, isn't it?
That's just wearing a helmet and boots, really. Ah. We couldn't have done that worse. All right.
No, we really could have.
All right. You
Dresses like
four,
merciless.
because Irina is coming along with, obviously, set out.
Yeah, it's happening.
Meanwhile, like as we leave the building, like a whole bunch of witches just go in and slaughter all the
You walk off like this pride strut, like you're walking to like the greatest meeting, and you just see this swarm of bats just like fly in, like
Actually, you know what would be really ironic is if the building itself actually went on legs and then just it engulfed everyone inside of it.
just gets up and is like rum rum rum.
And then ran away.
Just be like, see, I told you that fucking building would walk.
If possible, I would like Nala to be carrying a loot, just for shits and giggles. Complete the ensemble.
Do you have a loot?
No, well, I'm assuming they have a loot. It's a mansion.
Do you have a spell of destroy walking building?
Possibly.
because-
That's
Chances
really
are-
specific.
Given that they know, like, they've organised us coming, they're going to have all their big guns nearby.
Why do you think the walking cottage is their big weapon?
I mean,
You've got
one,
you
no,
got
one
stuck
of
on
them.
this idea, and I'm like, it's a house with legs. Why do you think it's a big threat?
Before we
Because
actually
if it
leave,
trips over, it's going to kill a bunch of people.
before we actually leave for the meeting, like I don't know, like
It's a solid point.
I guess.
like just before we go, Nalek says, like, "Oh, I need to go pee. You guys go on ahead." He goes into the basement.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Oh god. Why do you do this?
And he summons an earth elemental and gets it to travel under the ground underneath us.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long
Why
do
do
we-
you think I'm doing something suspicious and nefarious?
How long do we
all
have
the time?
Because it's normally true.
Yeah, how long do we have before it starts hating you?
It lasts for a full hour.
Okay.
Oh god.
And I only need to do concentration checks. It's not like I need to like fight against its will.
This is what I was saying. Okay. No, cool.
Cool.
Okay, as you guys are like
Cool.
I have
marching
no
through,
doubt that they have insurance, like they have backup insurance,
All right.
basically.
you guys are
And
sort
it's
of
good that you're the only one that knows about it, and you're the only one whose mind can't be read. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
That's actually true.
Wick is going into this with the best of intentions, so if they read Wick's mind, he actually does want this thing.
Well, I also assume they've completely raped her mind, and
Oh Jesus!
they've known everything we've
Hey,
discussed.
let's not
And-
say the R word when there's an unwanted pregnancy.
Okay. Okay, they've completely gone through her mind and know everything we've discussed, and know at least that we're vaguely like wanting to be.
We want to punch them, but like we
We
want to
actually want to their help against.
we want to we want
you
to
want to parlay with them. Like, straight up, you have arranged
Yeah.
a truce meeting.
We made a little white flag. I made a little white flag.
made of some underwear.
While he was doing his montage, I found like a big set of
A set of white bloomers.
white bloomers that I've tied to a stick.
Yep.
It's actually Irina's.
To a pool cue. And I have a white flag that I'm waving going into the
Because
parlay.
you know they've got a billiards table.
They've got a billiards table.
Of course they've got a billiards
It's a
table.
fucking mansion. It's,
Yeah, it's a-
like it's not a mansion if it doesn't have a billiards table.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
true.
Yeah, that's very
Okay. You guys are sort of wading through like this almost waist high like sea of grass. The rain has sort of died off a little bit down to just like a drizzle, but the wind is just like washing across, and just with the water hitting it and the way the wind hits this grass, it looks like a green ocean just like washing in front of you. The whole way you are moving, you can just hear this light rumble.
Is it
And-
like boom, 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 or is it like?
It's more like
Is it like boom, boom, boom?
boom, boom, boom.
Sorry. You said that in a very melodic way. I liked it.
No, follow.
It's not a joke. You just said it in a way that I found very pleasing.
Okay.
But it sort of sounds like distant but constant thunder rumbling.
Like,
You know what it is. Everyone else is like, what is that sound? But you can hear just like the sound of like rock tumbling. Probably a good.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was the chicken-legged house.
No, it was your dumb trap.
You guys have been walking for about half an hour.
It's literally
and,
Earthglide.
and you reach sort of the mid part of this field, and you're sort of sitting there waiting and sort of looking around, trying to gauge how long it's been. No one's got that.
Before we go into the fight, just while we're waiting there,
You mean the
or whatever.
negotiation?
Before we get into this conflict, I'm going to grab my pendant.
Let's call it an encounter.
Encounter the thing. What is about to happen?
Yep.
Grab my pendant, and I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Yep. That goes for an hour.
I believe so.
You can do that?
It's part of his pendant.
It's my pendant.
You have like an actually magic pendant?
I have a wondrous item, and it
Yeah.
contains 3 charges of protection from good and evil.
Damn.
Wait, it's up to 10 minutes. It's up to 10 minutes. So I'll wait till it's about to start, and I'm going to cast
So
that
you
on.
guys are waiting around
Basically
for like,
ready in action just before they arrive.
Yeah, I'm holding it, and as they're about to, I will.
you guys are waiting around and you're sort of looking around and you see roll perception actually, all 3 of you. And I read this as well.
14.
Can I just give him advantage?
No.
Oh, damn. 11. Well,
You
12.
give me like, shut up, you can do it, buddy.
A real good eyeball massage. It's like, oh.
I believe in
Which
you.
he's probably quite good at.
An eyeball massage.
I mean, you would have to give. I don't know. 12. I got to 12.
You guys are sort of looking around. You're looking off to off towards the forest to the south, and you sort of see like where a river is crossing across the field, and you look a little bit off to the east, look off to the west, and you don't seem to see any sign. And you continue to look around for what feels like ages. You are stuck waiting for someone who is either.
This is no good news.
You are waiting and waiting. 10 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass, half an hour. And then you start hearing these sounds of just like creaking timbers.
Trying to big dick us on this negotiation, doing like classic power moves, making us wait, walking in on their chicken-legged house, straight out of the executive's playbook. Don't worry about it. Don't let it phase you.
But you see this. You see the first sight of the hut that was being described, and the description's been a little bit off. It is definitely not what you would describe as chicken-legged. It is definitely a hut perched upon like a series of roots that are creeping more spidery across the.
So it's an ant.
Sorry,
An ant.
it's the roots of it are animated more like the
An
legs.
ant with a
of-
treehouse.
That'd be great, right?
So,
But it's less like it's less bipedal and more
Insectile.
more insectile. What's 9? Sorry, 7.
Non.
Yeah. Non-ambulant. 9-legged.
Non-pedal.
Non-pedal. Yeah.
No.
what's the odd numbered leg doing?
Walking.
It's flipping you off.
It's not just,
Flipping everyone off.
But it sounds like the deep forest inside a windstorm. It's just like the constant creaking and groaning of big, heavy timbers. And it is just crawling its way and creeping its way across the field straight at you guys.
I could take it.
I take a step back behind Ulrich.
Yeah. And it takes probably a good 15-20 minutes of marching across this field. It just sort of wades through what is a fairly reasonable sized river, and just like it sort of dips down to almost to the point where the base of the roots just beneath the hut hit the water level, but just sort of like this hut essentially just like skirts its way or just scoots its way across the surface of the water and then just raises itself back up over the other side of the
I nap.
the other bank. Sorry.
I start napping.
You're like, bored.
This is taking forever.
And yeah, 15, 20 minutes pass, and then this pretty dominating looking building sort of walks up and just sort of stops, maybe about 100 feet in front of you, and just sort of bends a little bit at the knees of the roots a little bit. It sort of crouches down slightly, and the two front ones sort of extend out to make sort of a walking ramp up to the platform where this hut stands.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And it just sort of leans a little bit forwards. It just sort of leans to the point so the shadow of this building sort of just extends.
How high up is it?
You're probably looking about 15 to 20 feet up when it was standing at its full height. Probably about 25.
Is it like... Is a door opening so someone can come down, or does it just seem like we have to go up?
It looks like the door of the hut sort of swings open, but the whole thing sort of leans towards you, sort of signaling like you got to come up.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Before going in, I will click off the Raven pendant, wishing for the spirits of my ancestors to watch over my immortal soul. And I will help Irina.
As soon as Arena sort of steps onto the root, one of the two roots that are extended out just sort of like lifts up slightly and curls around her and picks her up gently, like cradling her, and plants her onto the surface near the doorway.
Okay.
And then sort of extends back out again.
I will clamber up.
It extends back out of you for the rest of you to climb under your own power.
Oh, so it's a dick move. Got it. I'll climb up. I'll climb up.
It's a dick move.
Fucking witches, man.
Is this like a wooden shack, or...
You can see it's just made of like these gnarled branches and bark and so forth, all sort of like essentially just wedged together and held together with the depth of time and moss built around it. There is no sort of architecture to it. It just basically looks like a bunch of stuff thrown together into a hovel.
Something that's been repaired so many times that the original whatever, like the original stuff is just completely gone.
Like something out of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah. I was going to go for a bit of a Ship of Theseus sort of angle on it, but less new stuff, more just piling more old stuff on top of this old thing.
You're a ship of Theseus.
Your face is a
I
ship of
love
Theseus.
that whole Ship of Theseus philosophy thing. It's so good.
Your face literally is the ship of Theseus.
Shut up. Shut up!
The oldest part of your own body is 7 years.
We are all ships of Theseus.
Um,
What about this band-aid? It's definitely older than...
Gross. Okay.
It's part of me.
It probably is now. You guys are on this sort of mossy platform in the center of which is the hut. Ahead of you is the open door of the hut that is just got it's like a light little like waft of like incense smoke just drifting out across the step and down the stoop. Down
I
towards
tries
you.
to identify it.
You smell it. It smells a little bit of sage,
Nothing particularly horrible about sage.
which is an odd one because sage is usually used to ward off witches and spirits.
Alright. Let's not be intimidated by this situation, and let's do this thing. Head in.
As you approach closer, you see there is a swarm of like little flying insects that are just sort of buzzing all the way around the roof, over the top of the roof. There's like gnats and mosquitoes and small biting flies.
I hate swarms of things, Ryan.
You haven't died to as many of them as someone else. But as you approach the room, you You're looking into this dark space. Who's heading in first?
No, like
Nalek? Irina follows closely in behind you.
I'll take the rear.
So, Wick is third in then. And behind you, as you step in, the door sort of closes in behind you, and you are in a fairly rounded room, in the center of which is a large cauldron, just over a single fire. You can see just like the stooped roof. There's just a hole in the center where the smoke is sort of like peeking out of. There's no actual chimney. It's just a hole in the center of the roof. This large cauldron is just sort of bubbling away with this pretty viscous looking like dark liquid. Around a couple of spaces near windows, there are just like bundles of like herbs burning in an incense form. There are like dried flowers and various different natural things hanging off walls. There are gourds. Everyone's all up about the gourds.
Good gourd.
they've got our gourd.
Off hanging over the doorway behind you, there's a single shrunken head. Its mouth stitched closed with a thick leathery twine. And its eyes are pinned open, like the actual eyelids are peeled back and actually wrapped over and pinned through the eyebrow
Ew.
with like these iron nails. So its dried up eyes are just looking in your direction.
They move.
Roll perception.
I'm just picturing Monkey Island.
17.
Almost imperceptibly, they see that you do notice that as you move around and sort of they do ever so slowly follow you along, like raisins moving inside that socket.
Like raisins in a bowling ball.
That
What?
what a metaphor.
Powerful.
Something at any rate.
One thing you do notice is a distinct lack of your hosts.
Hello. I sort of wave the white flag I've got. We've come to Parley.
And all you hear is just like the soft bubbling of this liquid in the and it's like a cooking porridge. It's very thick. And you just hear this one little bubble of air is like, and just like a wet slop sound as the bubble explodes across the surface.
Well, that goes and identifies the porridge.
Roll Arcana.
Alchemy?
Arcana.
Dang it. Bad.
Bad.
That's a 9.
It's a 9. It's not food. It's not Arcana. It's a witch's brew of some form.
It's some form of alchemy.
It's
Is that thing I've got expertise in?
no.
Dang
It is
it.
not alchemy. This is why I got you to roll Arcana. This is a magic ass magic.
This is that magic thing.
Alchemy's magic potions?
Dance, magic dance.
Dance, magic dance.
You guys are in this space for another good 5 minutes. Looking around, you have a chance to explore the room if you choose.
I'm gonna investigate.
You can investigate.
I will assist him.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I've got it. It's a 27.
You look around, and within this room, you don't see any sort of sleeping quarters. There doesn't seem to be any place for anyone to sleep. There are benches of like vials of different potions and unguents and ointments, and some of them smell putrid as hell. The most distracting thing is you can just hear those insects just flying around the top, and it's very off-putting. But you don't. Again, you still see no sign of the witches.
Is it like a bell? It's like a little ringer a bell for service.
Not that you can.
Calls out. Like, hello, is anyone here?
I have a bell in my gear. Ring a bell.
Ring a bell.
I ring a bell.
A single spirit bell.
Sure. What's that?
Ring my bell.
Oh boy, God, that's dredged up some history. You ring that bell. Just there's a soft little ding, 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 ding.
That worked. That was just some dumb shit I was doing.
And you're greeted by nothing. No sound. Like, even the insects seem to have quietened down for a bit.
They don't like bells.
And then you hear the swarm sort of fire right up. Like, it is agitated at this point. And starts swarming in through the windows and through that chimney point and through the gaps in the door. And starts swirling in and around you.
Me?
Wick. And
What the fuck did I do?
they're just like swarming around
Is
you.
this 'cause of the
like-
bell?
Like a spinning dervish around you. And then sort of, you're... How do you react?
I don't twitch. I hold my breath and I'm just like, not gonna react.
Now, like, prestidigitates another bell and rings that.
Roll me wisdom. Save.
Wisdom save. Not good.
God damn it.
But like that ends up being 7.
You sit there like...
What's that?
You sit there like...
So,
Tension, like your eyes sort of like wince down because you don't want bugs in your eyes. You're trying to close your nostrils up, just like flexing your nostrils. You're doing everything.
Yeah,
you try.
that's
Yeah,
Don't say it like it's weird.
I try. I don't actually know how to just call it. It's not flexing because that would be like bolstering. Anyway,
Scrunching your nose.
scratching your nose. There we go. And after a little bit, you feel like this one little fly sort of like creeping over the top of your ear. And then starts to try and crawl within it, and then you can't resist. You like try and swat at your ear.
Mm-hmm.
You break, and then these swarms just like stop still around you. Every single insect is now just hovering in place, looking directly at you.
We've come to Parley.
And then it just pulls away, and there's this form just like they start swarming around, and this form appears within a shadow, and then this elderly crone of a woman appears where the swarm was. She is hunched over. Her skin is this fetid green tinge to it. She has long streaks of like grey hair that...
She's the OG witch.
This is the OG looking witch. She is a witch-ass looking witch. She is the witchiest witch of witch.
Alright.
Which witch?
I throw a bucket of water on it. Ha! No, I'm just fucking with you. Why does she have a bucket of water in a castle? That's fucking crazy.
Because her floors need cleaning. What? You think a woman like that doesn't have
Why do Americans have guns in their house?
Man, you just... Yeah, okay. I'll shut my fucking mouth.
So you should before we get any messages from Americans.
They're usually pretty accepting of people criticizing them. They won't say anything.
So what does the witch do?
She sort of looks over to Ulrich, who is, I'm assuming, looking rather fucking...
Ulrich is the fantasy equivalent of checking Twitter on his phone.
I've been told I'm not allowed to do anything, so I'm going to check my fucking phone.
Looks up, glares, looks back down, looks up, glares again, looks back down.
She just sort of signals with this sort of hooked hand, like over towards like these piles of like fairly molded looking cushions, signaling for you to sit.
Narlag uses prestidigitation to unsoil those cushions.
She gives you like a look.
You're a fancy man.
Like,
I'm terribly sorry, my dear, but I will not sit on those cushions unless they're clean.
you've been working on your daddy line, haven't you?
I like it.
I want to hear your rendition of toss a coin to your Witcher very soon. You have a clean set of cushions to sit on. The rest of you,
Wick ain't proud. He sits down. On
I mean, I'm just going to stand next to them.
and you see her sort of like hobble over towards Irina and just sort of like with this like gnarled looking fingers, just like just not touching right up against the belly, but just sort of around the aura of the baby bump, and just like looks up at her in the eyes, like nodding her head, is like yes.
Witches, man.
What-
Witches, am I right?
What
They
else is in
need
the
to
room?
get some
Like,
stitches.
What else is around?
This looks like the most just sort of primordial version of an alchemy lab you possibly could see. This is just like a collection of natural herbs. Herbs? Why did I say it like that? Herbs.
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 But I'm assuming it's
herbs.
basically just one big room.
Yes,
'Cause-
one
yeah.
big sort of circular room.
So, like, she would have, like, a sleeping area, a
Nope,
kitchen
that
area.
was one thing that was pointed out. She does not have a sleeping area. Or a
Hey,
kitchen area.
because witch.
Maybe she just sleeps on those pillows.
Maybe she sleeps as flies.
Okay.
Maybe there's like a billion little beds all over the room that she sleeps in as flies. That's my new
Yeah.
canon. You can't take it away from me.
Anything, like, you said there were all those flies and stuff. Anything else living in this? Like,
She was the flies.
oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't fully paying attention. But it,
You were
like,
checking fantasy Twitter.
But was it? Yeah. Is there anything else living in the room?
Not that you've
or-
seen.
Okay.
Although the way you're describing it, it feels like everything in this room is living.
Well, I mean,
It feels very organic. And,
we're
yeah.
we're in a house that moves.
In a house that moves, most of the walls are made of like moss and lichen and old bits of tree that are so far rotted that they've just got like the mushrooms growing on them is what's holding the walls together. And she's like, I understand you have a proposal.
Do you want to take the lead on this, or do you want me to set it up for you to knock it down?
Yes, I am Wyan Brilson.
Oh dear.
I'm not with him. I just happen to be walking around.
We've got a new name. I'm liking it.
I got it from a JoJo name generator.
Okay. Wyan Brilson. I like it.
And we have need of your services. Ideally, we'd like you to help us defeat Strahd in exchange for allowing this baby to live.
If I may interject, we understand that you have offered some protection, or at least like mercy for some of the townsfolk in exchange for this little maternal situation over here. And what I would like to extend forth is maybe like some extended clemency on that, if we could find some kind of understanding re the Strahd situation.
She sits there and like strokes like the 5 long hairs that are coming out of a mole on her chin.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's so gross.
Like twirling them around her finger. They're like pulling them tight to the point where this mole like pulls long, and then she lets go.
Ding.
It makes a wet sound.
Gross. So gross.
I'm going to put something real gross in fortuity now, just for you, Ryan.
Cheers.
I'm going to throw some of the leftover pizza at your head if you keep going.
I've been enjoying like grossing you guys out over the last couple of sessions.
We
It's
know.
been a blast. All right. So your proposal is to stave off murdering an unborn child.
Murdering an unborn hag.
Child nonetheless. And your counterpoint is for us to help you remove part of our own protection we are offered by the current governance.
Listen.
The current governance that currently also traps you in this land.
I wasn't really looking at it as a quid pro quo sort of like exchanging the life of this child situation. That's horrible. We're not horrible people. But what this situation sort of indicated to me is that there is some form of like compassion and like concern for your fellow occupants of this land sort of thing. I didn't realise that. I thought witches were sort of like forming out of like corners of mold sort of thing. We don't really get a biology lesson for your people in my term. But I didn't realise that you were, you know, having weird pregnancies from ladies, and that opened my heart. That opened my heart up to the plight of you hag people in this land. And I gotta say, I think you might be underselling this whole protection from the governance thing.
What the...
Don't do it anymore. Just what?
What?
What Strahd offers us is a relatively safe hunting ground.
Well, let me just break this down for you just very quickly. And I think I'm gonna gesture to Ulrich while I'm saying this. Like, I mean, I think look, I don't think this is too bold on our part to sort of say Strahd's days are numbered, and you can be on the winning side of the new paradigm, or you can be like part of the old regime. Is what I'm saying. Strahd's he's got maybe a week left. You could be a part of the solution, or you can be allied with the old bastard.
Part of the solution or part of the problem?
And we can ensure that you don't get harmed.
In fact, I feel like you could make a contribution to a peaceful transition to a new sort of governing situation.
Is this one that you propose that we're in charge?
Oh, well look.
That remains to be seen at the moment.
What is going to happen after Strahd? I feel like it will be like a mutual sort of thing. We can negotiate this sort of thing. I think a live and let live sort of situation, rather than the predatory practices that have been, you know, what has gone on before. There doesn't need to be there doesn't need to be like a combative situation between hag kind and mankind, as it were.
Plus,
I feel like we've been pit against ourselves by these fascist overlords.
Plus, with the abolition of Strahd.
Okay. Please, young sir.
Sorry, I was on a roll.
Who do you see put in the throne of Ravenloft once Barovia is Barovia is removed, expelled, expired? Do you see yourself, young fancy man,
Myself.
or you?
Lord Flashheart.
Off.
God no.
A man of the people.
What a guy.
You, born of the dragons of old, some of the greatest creatures that have roamed this lands. Do you see yourself as...
Ideally, we were planning on having Tadric be the new successor to the throne.
Do you even know of Tadric?
Yeah, he came from Nova Roma.
Tad.
You didn't know.
Everyone knows Tadric.
I mean, I feel like
He's so dreamy.
I feel like we could arrange some kind of interim solution into like maybe some kind of democratically elected leader. Is what I've been thinking. I was having some conversations with a wizard friend of ours. We feel like there's some real potential in this govern for the people, by the people.
Wizards.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
Ryan.
fair.
Yeah. Jesus.
Then, up in their towers of stone and ivory,
I mean,
lording their knowledge on everyone.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Yeah.
They know nothing of the lands.
so
I mean-
what you're saying is that they have no knowledge and lording their knowledge at the same time.
Shut up.
I'm just saying you can criticize wizards for like knowledge sitting in towers, or you can criticize the freaking vampires who are like drinking everyone's blood sitting in towers. Honestly, I feel like the knowledge thing is a better situation, really.
This land is in a balance of sorts at the moment. Strada's in his castle. He drinks what he needs to. He keeps his cattle alive. We roam the forests, and we pick off the odd straggler from the herd that he's provided. Why would we?
Because no one is coming to Barovia at the moment. I'm sure you're aware, Barovia has nowhere near as many visitors as it used to. And if you get rid of the mists, if you get rid of Strahd, who's causing them, you'll have a lot more cattle.
Barovia is dying. You have to be able to tell that as much as anybody. Strahd is sucking the life out of this land in a metaphorical sense as well as the, well, you know, drinking blood sense.
In the quite literal.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. I mean, I think we've made a decent case on these merits, but we also have been hearing some stories about like the end of the world coming, and I feel like being trapped in Barovia and unable to do anything about it might be a problem as well. But I mean, that's a whole other...
That's actually a very fair point. Cerberus himself is actually in Barovia at the moment. And I'm sure you're aware that Cerberus needs to not be in Barovia. He needs to be down in the underworld.
But we're not trying to appeal to your better natures. I just feel like you can say you can like pick off a little straggler from Strahd's herd right here. That doesn't sound like a very like proud position for someone of your stature and power. Like, you're caged in here like the rest of us. Wouldn't you rather be free and able to like take your place in the greater world? We're all trapped here under Strahd's thumb.
Okay.
Just because you're preferred of his slaves doesn't mean you're not slaves. That's the line. That's the line right there.
Shall we roll?
Yeah, I think you're rolling this one though, because that's your line, but you're getting it with his assistance, so you get the advantage.
Motherfucker. Jinx.
All right.
You can't talk anymore.
This is a big one. All right, you guys, you with me on this? All right,
You're going to get 2 ones.
it's a 13.
13.
It's a persuasion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 13.
She looks at you and her inner eyelids just like blink left to closing vertically, and then she sort of blinks with her for her outer eyelids horizontally and is like, I think I can make a deal with you.
Me?
You, my boy. Quiet.
Never.
You, my boy, are a liar and a charlatan. Normally I like that.
I'm all about that. You, wait in my bedchamber.
Shut.
Here is my counter proposal. And it's an amendment to your proposal. If we assist, first, we need what is ours from young fair maiden.
On that condition, she is not harmed.
You,
No, I will not be silent. This girl is very important to us, and it is very important to us that she not get harmed.
Will she?
my boy. Let me finish.
Will Irina survive the birth?
We shall ensure it.
Very well.
Because, second condition of our proposal, Irina is the one that takes the throne.
How progressive.
I already know she is willing to do what is required. for her people's survival and our own.
Self-sacrificing for a leader is a very noble trait. Irina?
For usually a short-living leader.
I mean, I'm liking this energy. Can we? I mean, we're meeting here. This is a parlay. This is an agreement. I feel like we have like an honesty and a bargaining back and forth. How can you offer us some assurances that you have not ensorcelled Irina's mind in some kind of lasting way? I mean, look. This is all about trust. This is all about a meeting of equals sort of thing, or lessers and equal, whatever. It's all good. Look. I feel like if we're agreeing to put Irina on the throne on her merits rather than her being some kind of eldritchly controlled puppet on your part, sort of thing.
And she turns over to Ulrich and is like, and as a being of gods, you would know truth from lie?
Zone of truth!
I can.
We're making friends with witches.
It's an action to cast, so
You don't have like some cool flavor of casting your spells?
I mean it's just
Lift your fist up into the air and call down
and then
the divine
yell.
radiance
And you
of.
know whether people have failed it or not, right? Or
Yeah, it specifically says you know if people have passed or failed.
Yep.
And they know that they've had the thing cast
Yep.
on them.
it's just when they speak, they can choose to obscure truths, because as long as when they say something, it is true, they can just refuse
Yeah.
to say things if they would have to lie.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. Yeah.
And you put this, the whole room just gets sort of a brief glow to it, and then dulls back down to its original luster. And you know that this hag that stands in front of you voluntarily let the spell affect her.
Yeah, I figured you.
She offered no resistance.
We also
Last
have
10
to roll,
minutes.
don't we?
You can also choose to fail. That is something.
I don't know if we.
Why would Narlag choose to fail that roll?
I feel like in the current position, I would choose.
You also know that Irina has chosen to not.
Why would Wine Brilson choose to fail that roll?
Did you pass?
Yeah, of course I did.
Nice.
I got a 19. Plus whatever the bonus is.
So you both passed, did you?
I chose to fail.
You chose to fail?
I didn't actually roll.
Okay.
What is it? What roll is it?
It's a charisma.
Nah, I'm going with this.
Charisma 15.
I think I passed. Given that the saving throw I would roll would be plus 11.
And Baba Lasaga sort of gestures to Irina as like, my dear, are you under any sort of, aside from our previously existing arrangement, are you under any coercion or...
I think it'd be probably for the best if we asked you if you have put her under any coercion, aside from the attacking the towns.
My boy, then, you're a man of words. You propose the questioning, the line of questioning.
Have you put Irina under any duress and caused her to do anything other than giving birth to the creature?
The statutes of the deal that we made have been broken. Under those conditions, we are entitled to take everyone. We have chosen not to.
The statutes were broken because we found out.
And then she offered information freely.
That's debatable, but I will not question that.
But we are not monsters. We are just beings of the land, of the forest.
Let's let the non-dragon and hobgoblin cast the first stone here.
He's not a hobgoblin right now.
Are you a human right now?
And for the record,
That's Wyan Brilson.
for the record, she voluntarily failed. Like, she genuinely believes what she's saying right now.
I mean, I haven't spoken. And I'm the only one who knows that. But
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, that's a good point. She's saying this, and as far as you, she could be lying. She could be telling the truth.
He lies as effectively as a gnome could throw him.
I feel like we can come to an arrangement. We can come to an understanding. From what I'm given to understand, Irina has the bloodline to be the ruler of Barovia.
She's a descendant of Sergei, isn't she?
don't we also know about the whole thing with her and like Strahd?
No, wait, she's adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she was adopted by a noble family. I mean, look, we're just a group of plucky adventurers trying to bring down an overlord. What you're talking about is who is put on the throne. That's going to require like consent from the
various villages.
society. We'll be on site. I feel like this is a case we can sell, but I mean, she needs to be like royalty for that to work, doesn't it? This is like an entitlement thing.
Young paladin, that poke and stick you've got on your belt there, the sword. What opinion does it have of Irina? I know it has opinions.
I put my hand on it and like kind of question. Yeah. Yeah, basically. Like,
You get this rush of the warmth coming. The warmest emotional wave splash over you. It's a combination of like butterflies in the pit of the stomach, which you sort of associate normally with like the beginning of battle, before like as the lines of troops are lining up, and just that excitement and trepidation about the battle upcoming. You've got that sort of feeling, but more fluttery, more light, more airy, and warm, all over, like just like tingles, and like it is an experience I don't believe you have ever felt.
Sword likes her.
yeah, but was it? I can't remember if it was us or the previous party who found out about how, because we know that the souls are like being reincarnated and stuff like that.
I believe the previous party had worked that much out.
Okay, but
you guys do know
but
about the
with
reincarnating
her, like
part.
with hers, isn't she the reincarnation of like the lost love of both of the brothers?
Like you, Graham, know this. I can't remember. I don't believe Ulrich did. I think that was something. No, I can't remember. I can't remember who worked that out. But
I don't think we figured that out.
I don't think
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Okay.
Wait, what have we not figured out?
Well, maybe this is from
we found that out. I'm pretty sure we did. There was a whole thing.
We knew that Strahd was after her. We knew that Strahd had a long lost love.
and he believed it was her.
We only found...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, like he believed it was
her, but who knows?
But if he believes it's her, then essentially we know that the brother is going to be have a thing for her as well, because it was his brother's love and they both loved her.
We only found out about Strahd having a long lost love when we read it in the diary, which we haven't had anything happen since then.
And the previous party had the situation where Irina saw Strahd in her dreams.
Okay.
That was that was very early when you first met her.
I mean, it is also possible.
And we knew that she was being mind controlled by a vampire and had been bitten by.
Yeah, it's also possible I'm putting two and two together.
You're bringing
my
in some
head,
Bram Stoker's shit into
and
this.
then just assumed some stuff, and then thought it's what has actually happened.
It's also, this is a pretty tropey
yeah,
setting
exactly.
as well.
So
So,
I, at this point, I can't remember exactly what we've
because
experienced
I
and what we
thought,
haven't.
well, I was
But
talking about.
essentially, oh, sorry.
I was talking about this with Trev the other week, because I was filling him in on like the diary stuff, and he thought that was the case as well. And I thought that the story was actually subverting that trope rather than playing into it, because I thought that the Irina thing was just about Izek, and like what was implied to be a whole thing about her being the reincarnation was actually like subverted with it actually just being explained by the Izek stuff. But I could be misremembering shit as well.
Yeah, so
There's a lot going on, and we've been playing for a very long time.
we really have been.
okay, so you get this wash of emotions that you can only associate with like the truest and longest love that you can
Yeah.
but
But her having the soul of their long lost love doesn't necessarily mean that she's in like her current existence is
even
in a position-
aware of that.
All right, well, that seems to indicate to me, at least, that there is something to go on for this whole bloodline sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
At the
I
very
said to
least.
her, yes, it does have opinions.
We can agree to that deal, providing the townships all agree to it. And failing that, how about a triumvirate of sorts of each of the various burgomasters leading the country?
We could put Irina on the throne and then, like, set up some kind of governing committee. And, like, maybe, like, you can have a hag representative.
A
We could-
proposal of a council of
yeah,
a council of
a
elders.
duly elected sort of for the people, by the people sort of thing. Hags as people. A hag representative, an elf representative. I feel like this could be a way forward into a bold new future.
A raven representative too.
I suppose. Yeah.
Sorry, I was delving a little bit into Wick's voice there.
That's cool.
I have a third condition.
Is it him? Because we could give him up. It's cool.
Look,
In fact, can that
If-
be our condition?
You just hear in your head.
if you don't want him, why would I?
Just fucking around. What's the third condition?
Third condition is we get 10% of the livestock.
Now, when you say livestock, do you mean
You know exactly what I mean.
I just want it on the table. You mean
The
people,
children.
Children, right? Okay.
Well,
10%
okay, children.
of the children.
Look, is there any kind of sort of hag veganism that you can maybe transition into? Like moving away from eating children into, say, beef? Can I interest you in...
I understand.
Can
I understand that I may have confused issues
Can I
slightly
interest
by
you in
offering this as a.
veal, potentially?
I understand I may have confused your mind a little bit when I referred to them as cattle, but no, it is children. This is non-negotiable.
All right. Let's we'll put that in our draft proposal sort of thing. What I would...
How about some Ortolan?
I can't have jokes about Orderling Bunting done twice in a week.
Wait, what?
It was in the
No!
It was in the episode 0, right at the end of the episode 0 for Welcome to Futurity. Futurity is I couldn't remember the name of it, but very much described everything of it.
Oh no!
It was a whole bit. It was very fun.
What exactly would your people be willing to contribute towards the fight against Strahd in return for this 10% of the livestock situation?
And is that an ongoing 10%?
Yes,
Or just a one-time bonus sort of thing?
10% per year.
How would you feel closer to 5?
No, listen. Look, that's their first offer. Now we need to know what they would do in the fight against Strahd. What are you willing to offer in return for this tribute?
This is just a tribute.
If it is just stay out of our way, then I don't think that's worth 10% of the people.
Oh no, I understand now. The terms and conditions of this are the exile and expiration of Lord Strahd Barovich, von Barovich.
Yes. What exactly would that involve on your part?
Military actions, of course.
Of course.
I guess.
Military actions on behalf of the Witches were quite pivotal in defeating the armies of Strahd.
Parley!
This accent slipped pretty rapidly.
There was actually a division in World War II called the Night Witches. They were Russian female fighter bombers.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah. Sabotage made an awesome song about them.
They like used to cut their engines and shit.
They'd cut their
Dive
engines
bomb.
and like and start them as they were leaving. It's badass.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, the what's her name? The one that was the female tank engineer as well.
Can't remember her name, but I know
Yeah,
what
but
you're
she
talking about.
was
She sold all of her belongings, went out, bought a tank, and just started.
because her
blowing
husband
up
died in the
Nazis.
fronts. Yeah.
What does Irina think of this 10% situation?
Just say she is mortified at the fact that 10% of the population is going to be harvested
Yeah.
a year would be understating things.
Cool.
That is a horrific offer.
Now,
And you can guess what my reaction is.
is that 10% of the child population born that year?
Yes.
So, in essence, the population can still grow.
Yes.
Okay.
We can't feed in an unsustainable manner.
Yeah, sustainable farming. It's quite
Are you
good agricultural practices.
are you stipulating that they need to be human children? Is that a part of it, or
Oh, we wouldn't want any changelings going to it.
I'm just wondering what the flexibility is in here, like 10% of all children born in the
not
year. Or...
a lot of other options, dear. The elves are not exactly a breeding stock anymore.
All right.
All the women are gone.
Well, we have ways of fixing that.
And
Do you?
and further,
He's
there...
going to whore himself out and as a female.
I mean,
for a while, I
we
think.
definitely don't. We blew up the way of fixing that.
I mean, yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys just smashed things to stop fixing that.
In fairness, we smashed it for a very good reason.
Did you?
Because it was evil as fuck.
I mean, you didn't know that.
We did know it was evil as fuck. We didn't know what it did. We knew it was evil.
What are we talking about? I've forgotten.
The sarcophagus is you.
The
amber
giant amber
sarcophagi,
box
yeah.
things that we destroyed.
You destroyed them at a moment's provocation without any idea what they did.
Oh no, we knew they were evil.
What amber box things?
In the Amber Temple, it was one of the things that turned Rin into a vampire, or gave him the gift of vampirism. He turned himself into a vampire.
He did, yeah. He's all in. Look, what I would put forward, just I'm an honest broker in this. I'm not. If we could agree to the 10% number, I would have to say the only way I think that would pass muster is if it was renegotiated rather than being 10% in perpetuity sort of thing. Like, we would need to sit down and reappraise this. Look, after Strahd's gone, you may be like branching out into other kingdoms, and all of a sudden 10% of Barovia's children is no longer like even a drop in the bucket of your eating people harvest. So like, do we really need... We don't know what the situation is going to be after Strahd's gone.
Did you ever watch Torchwood?
Yes.
Children of Earth?
Yes.
This is that plot,
Yes.
basically, yeah.
I
That was the scariest season of, and mostly just because when they hypnotized every child on Earth, children are scary.
Yeah.
And all of them talking at once.
When Torchwood did entire
Yeah.
season stories, it was amazing.
Yeah, those were the best storylines. But yeah, all the children on Earth talking at once is fucking scary. Anyway.
But you see, you take my point. It's like we may have to look. We're just people. We're like making an agreement right now. What say like 20 years from now, those people are like, we didn't agree to this. It's bullshit. And I mean, like, if we can build into the situation like a renegotiation over time, that might alleviate the ongoing sort of chafing in
Option
trading.
for renegotiation within 2 years.
Master Wissesons
Sorry, what?
being your full name. You said you gave me full opportunity to give you a full name that your mother was.
What was it?
Wissesons.
Wissesons?
You've shorted down to Wick.
Okay. I didn't. This is the first I'm hearing it.
I know, because when you first proposed Wick, you gave me carte blanche on giving him a full, long, and embarrassing name.
Cool. I usually go by Wick, but I mean that's fair.
How many of the children in your generation were born without souls?
Oh, look! I don't.
As a how many?
It's hard,
How
it's
many
hard
in
to say,
10? How
you know,
many in
like,
10?
I never really liked old lefty blue jeans, but to say he didn't have a soul, I mean that was just that's probably my bias.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, the redhead.
How many in 10?
How many in 10?
Do they not have souls, or do they just have red hair? You know,
It's hard to say, really.
It's more like 3 in 10, right around the 30% mark.
Yeah, well, I'm bound to tell the truth in the moment. So, like, I suppose it is 30%. I mean, would you be restricting your particular diet to? I mean, there wouldn't be the soulless.
This is my point.
After the thing anymore, would there?
So it's
It's a net up, I guess.
Yes. We will take 10%, but you gain another 20
That's
of fruitful human lives.
That's an interesting sort of arithmetic.
And it's only of children born that year.
Correct. Once they've reached beyond 1 year, the flavour is all gone.
What are we talking about? I mean, this is trolley problem thing, right? Or trolleys don't exist. This is
Trolleys do exist. It's just they're pulled by horse and cart.
This is like the fate of the world in exchange for like an ongoing like number of people. I feel like
An ongoing number of people
like,
with option for renegotiation within the next 2 to 4 years. Sound good?
Oh, I've never agreed on this option of renegotiation.
well, I mean, that's we're talking
we're
here.
going to have a renegotiation because if in 10 years everyone's hating you and wanting to kill you all, that's not so good. If we can renegotiate and maybe lower over time, then they'll probably be less agreeable to burning and pillaging.
And you don't know. There may be like a new sort of status quo that forms after the council, the ruling council sort of thing, and like your whole eating babies thing may not be as necessary going forward.
And
Ulrich,
Master Paladin, how do you
just standing
feel?
there the whole like it's just being
Just
stoic.
seething.
Oh yeah,
It's just
That's
all of a
it.
sudden his foot just
Seething.
starts tapping on the floor.
If there wasn't
And
steam
just
coming off you
staring-
already,
Yeah, I'm just staring at you guys, and my foot is tapping. And
Master Paladin, your opinion?
I will say, Ulrich knows full well that Narlac has not been affected by that spell.
No, I'm not giving my opinion.
I likewise submitted to the truth-telling thing, so I'm not trying to obfuscate or dodge the situation at all. What I'm getting at is if we agree to an unacceptable arrangement
I
for future
actually-
generations, they won't go along with it, regardless of what we say right now.
I failed the save as well, so I am telling the truth.
I don't
Like,
think-
not that anyone would know.
I don't
Yeah, true, yeah.
Actually,
They have to believe that you failed.
Yeah,
I don't think you can. Can you fail that?
it's every creature in the area.
Oh, okay.
But you
chooses to
see what I
agree.
mean? I'm trying to come to the table
While
here.
this is
but
going
if
on,
it
have
is,
Dave reached and found Rictavio and
Yeah, they're sort of caught up in battle.
okay.
we're not exactly duly elected
He's gonna
leaders
help
of
if
the
he can.
people right now. So I just feel like
Yet
we
you've
can
nominated yourself as the negotiators.
we're trying to.
Well,
we're
you
trying to
you
make a
want to
difference
install
here.
Irina on the throne, don't you?
Yes.
So, we are here with Irina. We are talking and trying to help her negotiate. Irina, what do you want in this?
She looks at you guys and is like, 10%.
It's a lot, but as I said, I'm hoping to be able to schedule a renegotiation within the next 4 to 5 years.
I feel like we could maybe do 5% with a renegotiation after 5 years. How does that sound? We're trying meet us halfway on this, you know?
Bear in mind the countryside will also become less violent and therefore more breeding stock will be growing.
And you can leave Barovia. You can go and harvest, I don't know, dwarves or some shit. I don't really know what's out there.
Dwarves.
I don't know. You made a gross face just then. I'd make a gross face at the idea of eating babies. I don't know what
Dwarves
culturally.
just taste of dirt.
Well, all
A
right.
lot of things taste of dirt, my dear.
I've never eaten dwarf. I can't really say, but you know,
Dwarves really do taste of dirt.
there was that one time
do.
with that eyeball. I suppose. I don't really like to talk about those tastes.
There's a lot of rituals in the serving of Yagolinak.
I'm. At that, she sort of
Uh-oh.
cocks her head.
Uh-oh.
I thought there was something a bit odd about you.
About me? Look at this man, he's a were-raven. Look at that man, he's a dragonborn.
But you.
Ixnay on the air, Wavern Ray.
Ixnay on the Agonborn Dray.
But you come bearing gifts from such a lord of betrayals and lies.
No, not quite so much with the betrayals.
Super the lies, though.
Quite the wicked tongue on him, though.
Several.
You could be useful. I have a new proposal.
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, dearie dear.
Oh, dearie me.
I am willing to consider a lower rate on our harvesting.
Oh, good.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, good. Goody.
Bugger, piss, bum, fuck.
But I require this one. More
My
specific.
service
more
is a 100 gold per hour. And no
Not-
kissing.
At least not.
Less if it's only hand stuff.
More.
my boy.
You're going to be a hag gigolo.
Hagalo.
No, that's
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 why
the fantasy equivalent of people that like insane jester posse.
Did you have that written down in preparation? No, please tell me you had that prepared ahead of time, because that was great. I don't really want you. I want your
In you.
Oh, gross.
your essence. Your I'm going to regret saying this, but your juices.
Oh, gross.
Do it.
Wait.
I need
just like, have you got like a
I
cup
re-
or something? You got like a side room where it's like
wheels in the
with
wheels,
magazines.
wheels in the big like this oversized blend tech blender.
No. The gun from that Lysa episode of Invader Zim.
He's a changeling. You just put him in like a spinning thing, and it sifts all of the Yagolnak juices out to the bottom, and you just scoop it off the top.
What?
A centrifuge. You put him in a centrifuge.
No, what was you saying before? Was that in character?
A centrifuge was not in character.
Because I was going to say, like, the changeling bit would be also a wicked little treat.
Ooh, or another bite.
It's like, I require you, and I require what lies within.
What do you mean when you say juices? There's various juices involved with me.
I require what your Golinak gave to you.
Gonna need a little bit more specifics on that, but we can talk about that later.
So you approve?
I don't.
I can pull your Golinak's threads. The parts that stitches him to your soul. I can see them. They're like little worms.
Telepathically, to those two idiots.
Jesus Christ! You maxed that out.
The waves of it. I can see like a slight reflection from the.
This is a solid block of sound.
Sorry.
Telepathically to those two fuckwits.
Hi. New
That-
brain who dis.
That would make me not tied to your Golinak any longer.
Who's your Golinak?
He's my boss.
You can't say it back.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
he
like I did
can.
actually say you Golinak in.
He can. He can just say it out loud.
Okay. Like, who's the Golinak?
I don't know what Ugolanak is. That's Ugola what's it?
It's probably for the best if you don't find out.
Okay. Terrifying.
Is it?
But she's like,
Probably.
she's looking at you and she's like, licking her lips slightly. Like,
Oh. Delightful. Ooh.
it's it's like a very, very dry, like moist. She's got a dry tongue. She's slowly
us a kiss, dearie.
trying to moisten her lips, and she's like, oh, and she's like hungrily moving her fingers towards her mouth, like.
I am.
I like the idea that like we were joking before, but part of her getting the Ugolanak out of you is you gotta fuck her. Tenderly.
And she is just like, this very, very wet mouth. That's
Okay.
wet, sticky mouth
I'm-
sound.
darling.
I don't want that to happen, but I would let it happen if you two had to roleplay it.
The Ugolanak sex. Oh boy! Thank you for making sure that never happens.
Sorry. Just having fun.
Just sort of hugs around you while you do pottery.
Okay.
I feel like this is two birds with one stone, really.
Fuck.
Are you so attached? This attachment can be broken.
I would.
It's as simple as pulling a thread of an old sweater. It all unravels, and it'll be eaten like.
Get to reroll your character.
Block out all psychic noise. Just like even cut.
Which is just you screaming at yourself, just going. Ah!
even,
You know that sound that
even-
Peralta does in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he's playing the guitar, just screaming at someone. That's the sound in your brain.
even cutting off Dave.
Yep.
Like I know. Is he within 1 mile?
Probably.
It'll be on the outskirts. It'll be on the edge of,
Okay, so like.
like, dropping in and out of range.
Yeah. Okay, so when there's like a bit where he's dropped out of range,
You
telepathically to her, yes. And then I'd like to talk about that in the future, if that's a possibility.
that can be arranged. Oh my delicious boy! You look like you have
Bad touch.
the sweetest of juices.
I want my mommy.
I'm sitting here. I don't really know what's going on.
So,
If we have
Trust
an,
terms-
Trust me,
Ah.
you don't want to know.
terms are the quota is now down to 1%. I take this one for my purposes, and we offer our services.
would you be
In the
willing?
full brunt of our arcane and magic powers.
Would you be willing to send an envoy onto like the war council we've been establishing? One of them is a wizard. I feel like
Wizards.
I know, right? Wizards, yeah.
It's-
I could.
Wizards are a bit testy to talk to and deal with, but at the same time,
We are
It's not just
trying.
that.
We
I
are
spent
trying
the
to.
whole time trying to tell you why you're wrong.
We are trying to coordinate forces, as it were, like getting the people on side and sort of all of it. So if we could get you on coming to the table for that, I feel like. But
Yes, my third condition, of course, was being that young Irina is on the throne. That
yeah,
is-
look, I'm on board. I'm a man of the people. I feel like I can sell this to the
and 1% would be amenable.
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 That's the thing where we can renegotiate, right?
No. This is
It's-
this is the renegotiation.
It's
1%.
it's 1 out of 100.
Okay,
That's probably the best deal you're going to get.
the math checks out. I think. Yeah.
I know you're not from Nova Roma, so I know that you don't actually speak proper Latin.
You what? You fucking what?
Oh, fucking Latin your ass out.
Well, you know what they say. Audio, video, disco.
What?
I see, I hear, I learn.
What does Ulrich say about the new 1% number?
Yeah, that literally means I see, I hear, I learn. And you know what means I learn through suffering? Disco Inferno.
Burn, baby, burn.
Damn.
So,
I haven't stopped staring at you guys the entire time.
if it makes it any better, we'll be very discreet with our harvest. The suffering will be minimal. Master Paladin, you must be agreeable to these terms for this accord to be reached.
Psychically, just say yes and we'll come back and slaughter them in a year or two.
I can't. I literally say that out loud. That answers both of your questions.
Without this, if this accord is not reached,
How much is your harvest rate at the moment?
that would be no concern of yours. It has been ongoing for hundreds of years.
For helping the paladin decide. To
Listen,
know that there's a reduction at least would help him.
I know this isn't what you want to hear, but like, and no offense is intended to you and your particular people, but short of you personally wiping out every hag in this kingdom, like with your fists and such, I don't think it's going to change this particular situation. We're codifying it, obviously, but hags is going to kill babies. That's just what hags do, and unless you slaughter them violently to a individual, it's going to keep going on regardless. No offense.
How would we turn this into a situation that you might be able to follow?
Hags are gonna
In
hag.
Hag's going to act.
Hag's gonna hag. I like that. In
Game
in
recognizes
the
game.
shortest term, there will be a reduction. The 1% is less than what we take currently.
Does that make your decision easier?
But,
Ulrich?
as you pointed out, the population will grow. And therefore that 1% will become more than we take currently. This is why we're bargaining for a percentage, not a number. Because our population shall also grow.
Ulrich, are you acceptable to a reduction in the current amount of children being eaten?
I prefer to use the term harvested.
Eaten.
It takes the humanity out of it.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
I actually think putting the humanity back in would be better. I don't really care about humanity that much.
That's why I was using sarcasm.
This is literally the trolley dilemma.
Yeah, it's straight up.
This is the troll dilemma. Troll eat baby.
Man, we should have left Elric behind.
I'm not sure he would have let us.
No.
How much time do I have left on my elemental?
This discussion's probably been a good sort of, like, actually in real time. It's probably been nearly an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, and Zone of Truth only lasts 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I need to send it.
You only cast that like within probably about even in real time in the last 10 15
Oh,
minutes.
yeah.
So.
I need to send it the fuck away.
Yeah.
Because this has been sort of rumbling away but beneath for some time.
It's probably been making a very intricate tunnel system underneath the legs just in case anything went wrong, and then it's going away.
I am fine with a reduction of children being eaten.
Then it sounds
You
like we
have to agree that you're okay with 1%.
I mean, that's going to make him break his oath.
Have you looked at his oath?
It's pretty murderous.
The fact that he's not the one killing the babies might be the thing that breaks his oath.
Actually, yeah, no, like...
That's just a reduction in the months that he can fucking kill. They stood in my road. They were clearly fucking evil.
I mean, your original mission was to get Cerberus back to hell, right?
No, my original
His
mission
mission
was
is to kill Strahd.
to stop. Well, it was actually to stop Strahd from getting allies and things like that. But
Is it taking away an ally, Strahd?
It is exerting your dominion over this land as well.
Shut your it is.
You are a direct comrade of the current rule of the soon-to-be ruler.
You go with what you feel, though.
I'm not gonna lie. I am throwing out a genuine moral conundrum.
Yeah. Like, hey, Wick's not cool with this, but, like, he is languishing inside of trying not to fuck this up under his
And
own
being
truth.
incredibly pragmatic.
I agree.
I mean,
to
like,
these-
hey, Wick's seen, like, friends die. So, like, the idea
And
of...
you've also seen the like I said, about 30% of the people that were born around your thing were just soulless. They were husks of people wandering around, eking out an existence with no experience.
Look,
I agree to these terms.
And with
Do we need to, like, spit or something?
she goes to the cauldron.
I might need to.
But
And
I'm looking at this
It's very
like...
dusty.
Like, for real, like, Wick's... This is like a... Up until, like, coming into this campaign, I'm thinking, like, Wick has always had dreams about, like, bringing down the whole corrupt system as a part of his thing.
Yep.
And, like, this being, like, an actual route forward into it is, like, well, what will Wick sacrifice to get at bringing down Strahd? And, like, this being, like... He's seen some shit, and like, hey, you gotta... Hey, he killed that lady in that room who was all fucking, like, sad and lonely, because it was for the greater purpose of bringing down Strahd. So, like, this isn't that out of thing for his thing, but it's not great. Hey, Ryan, it's not great.
she goes and gets a bowl and scoops some of this porridgey viscosity goop out of the cauldron in the center, and like then basically she pulls it up and like with this long fingernails just like stirs around it, and then just like
I'm not eating that.
spits into it, and then brings it around to you, stirring.
Am I supposed
I
to...
must require you to expectorate.
Is that P? What is expectorate?
No, that's amictorate.
Spit.
Spit.
Spit. Oh,
Spit
okay.
in it.
Oh no, just a general, just a general lavage of your mouth.
I like...
I'm pulling some fucking good words right now.
Jesus.
You be reading a thesaurus.
Apparently.
He gets a loogie in there.
Yep.
Do it out of your hand. Yeah. Which mouth do you want it out of?
Dealer's choice.
Gross.
And she looks at this with this wide-eyed glee, and she's like stirring this viscousy, like dark. It looks like the spit from chewing tobacco. So it's like really, really dark brown molassesy sort of thing. Stirring it.
I ain't doing that. You have my oath as a paladin. I'm not doing that.
This is my oath and deal as a hag.
Spit a spark
I'm
in
getting
there.
Day, like, his current order is just go fly over to the Don. Just, like, you know, go
Just
have a chat with him.
Go free. Go upstate.
Go see Dad. Go see your dad.
Get out of here! We don't need you anymore! Go on!
Oh, poor lassie.
That's Harry and the Hendersons.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
Just
Yeah.
spit a spark in there.
And then she offers to Irina, who's like spits, and then she's like
I don't think
physically.
Irina can drink that. She's pregnant.
She spits.
You're not
into
even
the-
allowed to eat ham while you're pregnant. I don't think she can drink that.
Pregante.
Bragante. And then she goes over to one of the desks and just like decants this out into what's that? 5 separate little glasses.
Oh, I'm definitely not drinking that.
But I thought you were immune to disease and shit.
Yeah, I'm still not drinking that shit.
Not immune to gross. And she hands one out to each of you. And she's like, "This is
Wick grabs his pendant, sort of like steals himself, and he downs it.
this is a binding contract. This binds
For-
me to you,
For Barovia.
and me to you, and you to me. In imbibing this liquid, this accord is reached.
What exactly does that do? Is it magical in any way?
As is any contract.
So it just notifies you if the contract's broken. Doesn't actually force us to obey any commands.
If the accord is broken, then the deal is off.
Fair enough. I'm just like making sure that this isn't going to force us, like physically force us to actually do anything. We have to still abide by the contract by our own will, but
Well, what is a contract if it's not of your own will? Then otherwise, that is just slavery.
I'm from no.
And we're against slavery.
I'm from
Remember?
That was the whole fucking thing!
We were from Rome. Rome had slaves. A lot of them. Almost guaranteed. Ulrich has like 5 just to polish his armor.
What point did you think his armor was polished?
When he was resting at his home.
Okay, when he was asleep, they snuck in and fucking polished his armor for him.
Yes.
He just thought fairies did it in the night.
He has 2 sets of armor. He has
Does
one.
Irina drink?
Yes.
No, he drinks.
You're not entering into dark contracts with Eldritch forces?
No,
It's not a very paladin
they're
thing,
not
I grant
Eldritch.
you.
They're not Eldritch yet.
Well, they're kind of Eldritch.
They're demonic.
Fiendish.
Fiendish.
Come on, all your friends are drinking. You want to be cool.
She talks to you in your native tongue, Draconic.
Dragonese.
Because I just looked at her list of known languages, and it is very much on the list.
It's very loud.
I assume she would have a high intelligence, and high intelligence usually gives you a shit ton of languages.
yeah, she's got a real good intelligence.
Yeah.
But she talks to you as like, this is no more than this is not overriding any part of your contract with your lord. This is merely an arrangement and an engagement for the benefit of all. If you're truly willing, then this should just be as simple as drinking water.
Are you just like holding for the dramatic moment of will he drink, will he crack and murder the hag? Tense moment, like narrowed eyes in close up.
And she's just like straight up eye contact with you, like looking you square in the eyes, blinks twice, with her inner eyelids, then outer eyelids.
What will Ulrich do? Will you kill 1% of babies?
And I think we will actually
was
leave
actually
that
about
there
to say,
on
yeah.
a cliffhanger.
Can we actually?
And we will give Ulrich 2 entire weeks to think about whether he is going to chug this vile fucking liquid or not.
or murder her.
Or murder her.
And that's this week's episode of the Sunday Sessions.
You can email the crew at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com, follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Isolated City Gaming, and if you like what you hear, tell a friend. We're available across a lot of platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and on YouTube. Just search for Isolated City Gaming or The Sunday Sessions. Catch you out there.